And we are live. Good to have everybody here for the Monday call. Like I said before, a lot of people go to therapy. I just started a live stream. That's how I do it. Oh, one other thing. I totally forgot about this. If you guys think it's a good idea, so you guys know there's a lot of this stuff in the red pill community. It was like stay off video games, don't play video games. There's a big difference between porn and video games. I don't mind if you guys play video games. Some of the smartest people I know have made hundreds of millions of dollars because they got involved in computers because of video games. I don't have a problem with it. If you play video games 8 hours a day and you don't go to the gym, then I do have an issue with it. And the reason why I bring that up is because I'm the first guy to tell you when Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out, I'm going to be the first guy playing Grand Theft Auto 6, and so are you, and so is everybody else who's complaining about video games. You guys saw Myron; he is now he's doing Overwatch. He's doing streaming on Overwatch. Anyway, reason why I bring this up, I'm going to put a monitor right here, and I'm going to start streaming when I play GTA Online, when I play Madden, when I play COD. Whenever I do this, I'm going to start putting that on with. Sorry about that, guys. I'm going to start putting that on with the thing that we're doing. Let me see if we got this correct. Is my audio correct? AirPods, Scarlett, beautiful. So that's the first thing that we're going to do. Later on, a couple things you guys know coming up. Today's Monday. On Thursday is going to be the halfway to Halloween party. I'm just going to be honest with you. We're all friends here. It's an excuse for women to get into slutty Halloween outfits in fucking April. That is the only reason we're throwing this fucking party. If you're not coming to halfway to Halloween in Los Angeles, you are absolutely stupid. I don't know what you're thinking. It is going to be madness. That's going to be on the 18th. And then on the 20th is going to be the Bunny Ball in San Diego. Much bigger event, a little bit more professional. Not a lot of models there. There's a few, but it's whereas Babes in Toyland will be like 300-400 people. The Bunny Ball will be about 2,000 people. It's really, really huge. That's going to be in San Diego, California. I'll come back. Just talk really great news. You guys know who Greg Doucette is. You guys know More Plates, More Dates. He talks about endocrinology and steroids and testosterone. Well, Greg Doucette, who who's his contemporary. If I ever think about taking a peptide or taking anything else, the first two people I listen to are Greg Doucette and Derek More Place, More Dates. I mentioned Tristan wrote me and told me that Greg Doucette was actually following me on Instagram, and I immediately messaged him. And so Greg is going to be coming on the podcast. He doesn't have a plan to come to Las Vegas anytime soon, but I want to get him on now. Greg is also making some manosphere content. I wouldn't call it red pill, but he's making some manosphere content. He's kind of pivoting over into that section. So I'm super excited to get Greg Doucette on. The other thing is on Wednesday, we're going to have the podcast with Brandon Corica and Weston Corica and Brandon McElroy. When I do these ones, so like for instance, Neil Patel, Cole Gordon, when I have Jeremy Minor, guys like that on the call, even a lot of times those interviews get the least number of views. And the irony is those guys each that I just mentioned make more than 10 million a year. In fact, the guys that are coming on this Wednesday make 10 million a month. So I need you guys. I totally appreciate the fact that you guys all want the big booty OnlyFans models on my show, and you want to hear about the 7 guys they had sex with. I get that you guys enjoy that kind of content. But when a guy's coming on my show on Wednesday and he can teach you how to make 10 million a month, how wouldn't it be all right to just make, I don't know, 20,000 a month, 50,000? These guys are teaching you how to make 10 million a month. You think maybe you could get off your dick for a little while and then stop just watching content of men and women screaming at each other across the table, which of course I'm guilty of, and maybe watch some videos where you guys can see people building a business. Okay. Exactly. If you guys are interested in the money, then I would highly recommend you guys watch this episode that comes out on Wednesday. I don't know what you guys thought about me having Max Major on. I love that interview. My guest last week, he's an illusionist. I hope some of you guys took some time and watched the videos of him scaring the shit out of people, especially what he did to Kai Cenat. That was pretty crazy. I'm hopefully going to go out with Max here pretty soon to Fremont Street when he does some man on the street magic and some street hypnotism. So that should be cool. And then what else? Still waiting on the information about the bikini competition this summer. I'm hearing 3 or 4 events, which I'm very disappointed. I would like to have 10 events. I think 10 would be perfect, but 3 or 4 is about what we're looking at most likely. So it's going to be once a month during the summer. We're going to have a bikini competition. It's super easy for me to recruit for that, but I want more work, to be honest. And then not sure if we're going to have a Paradise Challenge in Jamaica. Right now, Joel is saying it's not going to happen. But we are going to have Swimsuit USA in October and November, so I'm still going to be going to that. Other than that, man, if I think of some more stuff, I'll come up with it. If you guys want to talk about the controversy with Fresh and Fit, if you want to talk about Access Vegas last Thursday, it got a little brutal. They ended up kicking 4 girls off the show. If you want to talk about the situation with Andrew Huberman, if you want to talk about any of these other situations, and also, you guys know I'm a former I used to work in counterintelligence. I wasn't a counterintelligence officer. I was an aviator. But I used to work in counterintelligence, and I'm a former U.S. military officer. If you guys want to discuss Iran versus Israel, that's definitely something we can go over because I think there's a lot of misconception here. I think people think because Iran is so much bigger than Israel that they can stand up to them. Israel has a modernized U.S. bloc military, and Iran does not. And so Iran can't stand up to Israel. Iran has no ability to invade Israel. But we can go over the specifics of it. In fact, all the Middle Eastern countries together at the same time would not be able to overwhelm Israel simply because Israel has functioning squadrons of F-15s and F-16s. And the U.S. would assist them with carrier groups. They also have Patriot missile batteries and M1 Abrams tanks. Those are things that those Middle Eastern countries can't counter with, like, say, T-91s and Sukhoi 57s. Those they don't have the ability to do that. Okay, beautiful. All right, let's go ahead and get to it. First thing, Cade, I hate talking about adult stuff whenever you're on here, man, because I feel bad because you're too young and you should know about this stuff. But all right, let me guess. All right, ready? Put in the chat what you think Cade is going to ask a question about. Is it one, Cade is going to ask a question about why older guys' girlfriends are flirting with him and why those older guys are getting pissed at Cade? Two, Ryan Henderson said threesomes. What is Kate? Kate is 16, 17 years old. Kate is going to ask a question. He's like, what happens when MILFs try to come after me and try to date me? And then this third question is, hey, man, I have a $10 million a month business. What is it that I'm supposed to just figure out which one of these questions Kate's going to ask? All right, Kate, go ahead. What's your question?
Well, I hate to disappoint you. My first question's pretty surface level. So my question was, I know you recommend the ball fade to accentuate the jawline and
Yeah.
getting a fade because it just makes you have more masculine facial features.
Yes.
However, I see more people in my area having more success with longer hair, like the wings out the back of the hat is
You're
pretty
talking
common.
about the fucking mullet shit. Yeah. No. So the thing is, you live in North Texas, so it is a little different. The funny thing is, I'm friends with Bilzerian and I'm friends of a friend with Theo Vaughn. The whole fucking mullet thing is coming back hard. But the mullet is long hair in the back with the ball fade on the sides. But that's more of a Nashville, Dallas kind of thing, Houston kind of thing, maybe some Scottsdale. That's not really a Miami thing. But I mean, it is a little bit, but it's a little different. Yeah, I don't have a problem with you doing it. But
Okay.
I will say this before we go forward. I want to halfway recommend a book. This is the second book I've halfway I want to halfway recommend you guys read Mode 1, meaning read it, but understand I don't agree with all of it. And the other book I want to halfway recommend is a book called Atomic Attraction by Chris Canwell. Because there's a lot of typical dating advice that he gets wrong, like men and women can't be friends, go direct with women, things like that are just provably untrue. But the problem is the issue is the book also includes a lot of studies, some of the studies in evolutionary psychology, and the studies are very helpful. When he refers to the studies, it's very similar to Ashley Mears' book, Very Important People. When Ashley Mears is stating facts, I totally agree with her book. When Ashley Mears is stating her opinion, I don't understand where she gets her opinion. I truly don't understand where she gets her opinion sometimes. The same situation here with this book. When he refers to studies, for instance, Texas Christian University does a study which proves, by the way, the debate is over. TCU does a study which proves that women find men more attractive when those men take photos with women who are smiling next to them. Let me say that one more time. You guys can look this up for yourself. Any of you who were told that pre-selection photos don't work, the debate is in, the data is in, it's over. TCU did a study and found that women find men who are in photos with other women, and those women are smiling, not slutty, not groping, just smiling, looking like they're showing compliance, that those men are deemed to be more attractive. Okay? Cool. Yeah, Atomic Attraction and Mode 1. Again, I'm not going to make those required books. Atomic Attraction, though, I will tell you, if you guys are looking for studies to sort of back up some of the concepts in Men of Action, the Atomic Attraction, almost every single one of them, there's no study that doesn't back up what we talk about in MOA, because MOA is totally built on studies. That's where we got all of the concepts in this program. Okay. Nice. So, Kate, go back to what you were saying before.
So yeah, that was just my question. I wanted to make sure that I was thinking through that logically. My second question was, so right now I'm working at a job. It's a food truck on the weekends, and I've been working there since I was 14, and I get paid $14 an hour.
Mm.
So but the problem is I'm getting under 10 hours a weekend with some weekends no work. And right now I'm applying to new jobs. Like I'm going to work concession stand at a racetrack, and I'm just trying to move up. Like what are some jobs you could recommend for me?
Sales.
It's
Yeah.
hard for me to get into sales. I
Okay.
I would love to. I'm just trying to think of where I could look
Okay, guys,
into.
I shouldn't be saying this. One of our sales guys isn't even 21. I highly recommend you guys get into sales. Also, let me do this real quick. Copy. Right there, guys. If you guys are interested in joining Men of Action, Ty, if you could, you were the one who sent me that. Make sure we keep that posted in the chat here. And let me post it on the let me post it online here as well. Where is the live stream? No, can't find the live stream. Okay. We're gonna do that as well. Here it is. Why don't I see a live stream? Do you guys see the live stream? Yo, what is going on, man? Oh shit. Hey guys, give me 1 second. I screwed up something. Why is this private? Give me 10 seconds, guys. I apologize. It says that my video is private. Okay, now it's public. Okay, cool. There's the live stream. My bad. Sorry. We're fixing things while we're doing things. All right, guys, I'm going to put this in the chat real quick so you guys can see if you guys are interested in joining Men of Action. There is the link for you right there. I'm going to go ahead and pin it to the channel on YouTube for those of you who are watching. Go one more time. Kate, what was the question?
I was just asking for job recommendations and
Yeah.
if maybe getting some. I'm looking this summer. I'm looking to work full-time hours, so I'm just looking into jobs I can get. I would love to get some sort of sales position, but I'm just curious on where I should look for those.
So what I would do is start reading books on sales first. I would go through go through everything that's free that Jordan Belfort, Cole Gordon, and Jeremy Miner have. I would start there. Okay.
Okay.
Uh,
I watch a lot of sales content. I also do the competition for FFA for ag sales. We just finished
love it.
our season for that. So, okay. I'll keep working and improve my skills on that.
Okay. So that's the first thing. The other thing is how old do you have to be to drive like Uber Eats or something like that?
I think it's 18. I should
Okay.
probably look into that a little bit more. So, because I would be interested in doing that.
Yeah, guys, I've said this before. If you can make more money, any job you have, if you can make more money as an Uber Eats driver, you should always do that because as an Uber Eats driver, you can listen to podcasts, audiobooks, and you can listen to YouTube videos that are going to get you closer to your goal. Remember, we talked about having a subject matter expertise. So, one of the things, if you ever read Start with Why, if you ever read The One Thing, one of the things they talk about is like there's a problem you need to solve. Elon Musk says you're going to be paid in linear proportion to the complexity of the problem you solve. So how do you find out what problem to solve? Well, the answer is to educate yourself. And there's so many ways to do that. I recommend, first off, I would recommend publish papers. This is like the ultimate form of credibility for me is something is published in a paper by a PhD and it's published from a university, like a university study. After that, it's books written by PhDs. And then after that, I would say podcasts and YouTube videos from people who are experts in their field. But I would rank them in that order. I would start with the published papers first because they're peer reviewed. And then at the end, I would look at the YouTube videos. But like if you see a bunch of people, evolutionary psychologists, go on YouTube and have the same opinion, that's a pretty good chance that there's some structure behind that. But that's the way I would do some research. But anyway, how do you find the problem? Well, you find the problem by like investigating different industries and saying, okay, there's an inefficiency here. I've said this before. The delivery methods for peptides and testosterone, peptides and hormones, the delivery methods are horrible. They take they say, oh, it'll be 5 to 7 business days. It takes 4.5 weeks for you to get any of your shit. It's absolutely terrible. If somebody could fix that supply chain, they could become a billionaire. If someone could fix that supply chain, I ordered some thymosin. Like literally my transaction didn't go through till a week later. And like, I've got to wait 3 or 4 more weeks to get it. Like if anybody can fix that problem, so that's just one example of something that I'm talking about. Okay. Yeah. It takes you 3 days. Yeah. Go ahead.
And the last thing I wanted to say was I want to say thank you to Ty because he's been helping me out in the school forum and he's been pretty cool so far. So I just wanted to say
Thank
thank you to him.
Lieutenant Buchanan. Thank you so much, sir. Good to have him out there. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Okay. Here we go. Only Phil. This is going to be interesting. Only Phil. What's your name? Or what's your question, brother? You got to unmute yourself. Only Phil.
Can you hear me?
Give me one more second. Phil, go ahead and unmute yourself again.
Can you hear me?
Sure can.
Yeah, man. I have dreams of I have dreams of wanting to be a multimillionaire. And I know that the law of attraction is highly there when you speak things into existence. I speak all these things, and my mother believes in me, but she told me I have a grandiose, which means like you believe that you're gonna be something, and it could annoy people, but how do you get to taking actions on your multi-million dollar dream instead of just like speaking it?
Yeah. So I would highly recommend, no offense, brother, you don't ever pick up a book called The Secret or anything to do with The Secret again. I need you to understand that whether or not it's true, it's not true. Whether or not it's true, it's only actions and work that will get you your multi-million dollar dream. And this idea of manifestation, like clenching your butthole and gnashing your teeth and then a fucking Lamborghini is going to appear, is fucking nothing but horseshit, and it's unhealthy. So stop. Your mother talking about being grandiose. The reason why she's saying you're being grandiose is because she can clearly see that you don't take action when you're supposed to. Phil, it's only action. There's nothing but action. When you join the fucking Marine Corps, they don't sit there and try to get you to do breathing exercises and yoga and change your mentality. They make you take action. They make you shoot guns and climb obstacles and fight other people, and so that you can see empirically that you're capable of accomplishing these goals. The human brain was designed through natural selection to be rewarded when you accomplish goals. Phil, there's only accomplishing goals. There's only taking action. The visualization is fine. I don't have a problem with that. Just as long as you fully and totally grasp that that visualization alone will do nothing. I don't give a shit what fucking Joe Dispenza says about using a quantum field in order to heal your fucking spine. Whatever you need, whatever. And by the way, I don't even care if you guys believe in this shit. I used to be like offended when people believed in it, but I was listening to Tom Bilyeu and he's like, whatever you need to believe in order to like function best is probably what's best for you. If you guys have ever had like a really kooky guy on your sales team, but the guy's just a killer, just an incredible salesperson, and a lot of times they'll have like a lucky rabbit's foot or a believe in astrology or just some other weird shit. You just kind of deal with it. It doesn't matter. But by the way, there's no difference between astrology and The Secret. It's all just as fake. None of it is real. I would love to debate anyone you guys want on the efficacy of Joe Dispenza or Deepak Chopra, exposing them for the scam artists that they are. They are scammers. None of what they say. Now, the thing is, well, I say they're scammers. There's a lot of people who've legitimately gotten over depression because of them. So you're like, well, Michael, does that really make them scammers? What makes them scammers is that they're saying something is true when it isn't true. They do not have the slightest fucking comprehension of quantum mechanics. They cannot perform the equations. They do not understand the ideas whatsoever. And no, your brain is not fucking like, it's not quantum mechanics that creates consciousness. Or if it is, we don't have any information to show that. And people a lot fucking smarter than Joe Dispenza, whose PhD is in chiropractic, by the way, whose MD is in chiropractic. Like, I'm tired of the shit. So Phil, the best piece of advice you're going to get this year is stop worrying about manifestation and only worry about action. Got it?
Okay, got it.
Beautiful. Cool. Now, the next thing you say is, okay, what is your goal? Like what, like, again, I would watch the show on Wednesday when a guy talks about using TikTok affiliates to make $10 million a month. At no point during that whole call does he go, yes. And I was like, we manifested the money in our brain. It's like, no, we read a bunch of shit. We read a bunch of shit and learned a bunch of things and then we were inspired by watching Ty Lopez. And then from there, that's how we built the business. Okay. Let me help you out for those of you who don't grasp it. People who take action sell products to people who don't take action and believe in manifestation. Let me say that one more time so you guys can understand. The people who take action run businesses that sell products to people who procrastinate and believe in things like manifestation and The Secret. Okay? So there's the wealthy decision-making class. They take action, they read books. And then there's the lower class people who believe in woo-woo astrology, numerology. They believe the earth is flat, shit like that. They believe in energies. People who believe in energies don't become rich. I mean, unless they're like musical artists or something like that. They don't believe they get rich because they believe in energies, unless they're Joe Dispenza, in which case they are a con artist. And again, please, if you guys know anyone who wants to debate me on Joe Dispenza, I will put this guy in the fucking ground. Okay. It's embarrassing to me that fucking Tom Brady has anything to do with this dude. All right. Hope that answered your question, Phil. Dawson, what's your question? Oh, so hold on a second. Give me 1 second, Dawson. Dawson, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hi, can you hear me?
Sure can.
Yes. So my question was, kind of like from the mystery after that podcast. So I approach a group of girls. I play the game and I asked out the hottest girl and I got rejected because she has a boyfriend. Now, in a group, do you hit on the other girls, or do you stay as a friend or you walk away? How would you kind of play that?
Okay. So Dawson, have you taken MOA before?
I have not.
Okay, that's fine. It's just good contextual information. Okay, so I will tell you, Dawson, that throughout my life, so from the time I moved to probably the time I started managing a strip club till now, about 85% of the girls that I've slept with were just friends of mine. Meaning we would hang out on a friendly basis, and it's usually from a group situation. Okay, so there's a big group of us. We were going out. There was no intent. There was certainly no dating going on. The other 15% were dates, right? Like Kylie's a great example. Like I met her. I was not trying to be friends with her. We went on a date and then we were together. But for the other ones, there was no dating involved. The girl before her, very much, it was like 2 on 2 of us. Like there were 4 of us at dinner one time. She was actually on a date with a different guy and went home with me. Like totally different type of situation. Okay. So I want you guys to understand, Dawson, the first part about your question is that it's framed incorrectly. There's no, so first off, when do we hit on them? We never hit on any girls. This is the second problem. Pickup has destroyed the men's ability to understand how to generate attraction. Pickup has destroyed men's ability to understand how to generate attraction. What pickup is good at certain things. What pickup is good at is it's good at you figuring out, okay, there's girls 1 through 10, which ones are down to fuck? Number 9. Bing, 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 number 9. Like go for number 9. Pickup is really good at that. It's like, these girls don't like me. This one girl likes me. Go for that girl. What pickup doesn't teach you is how to manufacture attraction. One of the best ways to manufacture attraction is through pre-selection. And when we talked about before, again, the data is in, the debate is over. TCU did a study and showed that women find men more attractive when they post pictures with women who are smiling in their photos. Please check my work. Okay. So in this situation, you don't hit on any of them ever. You create a funnel that goes back to your place. Okay. You put all of them through compliance loops and you see which one goes the furthest. And the final compliance loop is, hey, come on into my bedroom, take your shoes off. We don't hit on girls. Low status men hit on girls. We don't hit on girls. We don't have to. Do you guys understand? Like why, if Justin Timberlake doesn't have to hit on girls, why do I? He's like, well, because he's more high status than you. It's like, I mean, from an individual standpoint, from the context of the girl, why can't I just manufacture the attraction the way he did? Oh, that's impossible, Michael. Black pill. You can't do that. You have to be hot. And really? That's interesting because I have 1,500 clients that say otherwise. Pickup does not teach you how to manufacture attraction. Pickup teaches you basically doing cold calls. And okay, if you guys are really good salespeople, you know that there's some people that are no's and there's some people that are yeses, and there's some people that are no's that you can turn into yeses. And really skilled salespeople can turn the no's into yeses. Okay. But what pickup doesn't understand is that there's no's and there's yeses, but there's some no's you can turn into yeses, but they don't teach you how to do it. They teach you how to DHV, which is actually the opposite of generating attraction. They teach you can't have female friends, which is the opposite of generating attraction. See what I'm saying? They don't function on logistics. They rarely function on social media. It has taken fucking 10 years for the guys in the pickup community to catch up to the concept of social media. They are so far behind. If you don't believe me, go through and look at every single person that criticizes me online and then look at their social media. Anytime you see someone, Michael Sartain, the fucking passport bros, people in South America, whoever, go look at them criticizing me, then go on their social media and then compare it to mine. And you'll see what I'm talking about. They're so far behind. They're light years behind. And so they've screwed this up. So Dawson, the answer to your question is the question's framed incorrectly. You're going to be friends with all of them, and you might sleep with all 6 of them. That's the answer. But you don't hit on any of them because you're a high status man and you don't have to hit on them.
I was at a table.
Attraction.
Oh, sorry. I was at a table with Hooters girls at another bar for about 45 minutes, and we had to keep adding in tables because there was more coming in. So it was like this thing. I'm just kind of new to that, so I'm going to keep learning and I'm going to keep looking at the forums.
Okay, I love it, man. That's great.
Thank you,
Dawson. There's a free program that's in our free group. I want you to go through that program. It's going to answer some of these questions.
Okay.
Okay. Sounds good. Joseph Stone. Joseph, go ahead and unmute yourself.
How you doing, Michael? Michael, it's a pleasure to meet you, man. So I'm 19. I started really young, business at 13, and one of the things is I don't really want to chase girls at the moment. I'm really just trying to grow my business. And one of the biggest problems I'm coming into is all these girls are freaking immature, man. I'm going out there, I'm dating, I'm doing my outreach and everything else, just like sales. It's just a numbers game, and I'm finding all these girls, and it's just really just hard to find a woman where I can grow with her. And do you have any like recommendation on that, man?
Joseph, so first off, it sounds like you're using dating apps. Am I right?
I'm doing dating, Instagram, in person also.
Okay.
Doing a little bit of everything.
Okay. It's not a numbers game. It is sort of a numbers game, but it's more so there's a discussion of qualitative improvement and quantitative improvement. And what's happened is, again, we're going. I don't mean for this whole program to be me bashing on pickup, but pickup is more of a quantitative approach. You just go and approach enough women, and if your weird ass fucking client approaches enough girls, eventually he finds some drunk girl at a fucking bachelorette party who goes home with him, and then finally, yay, you got laid because you have game. You don't have any game, dude. You were born on third, and you thought you hit a triple. Just because you slept with some girl with a 900 body count after approaching 100 other women does not mean you have game. Okay. So, going back to what you said before, go back to the original question.
Yeah, of course. I'm just trying to find a girl where
Yeah. I remember now. I'm sorry. I apologize. When you're just trying to find a girl. So here's the thing. The thing you have to work on, if you're having this issue, the thing you have to work on is generating attraction. You're not even 30 yet, are you? How old are you?
I'm 19. I said I'm looking for a girl I can grow with.
This shouldn't even be a concern, dude. Like at this point, you need to learn a skill set. Just like a skill set of being able to do sales. If you sell real estate, later on you can go sell a fucking SaaS course. Sales is sales. You can pivot from one sales community to another. When you learn attraction is attraction. Status is status is status. This is a really important lesson. This is one of the first lessons I teach guys who are not really familiar with this course and don't understand these concepts. There is not good guy status. So your mommy is like, I want you to marry a good girl, mijo. I want you to marry a good girl and she's going to be good for you. So you need to go to church all the time and you need to be a polite gentleman. Okay. That kind of behavior is made fun of and chastised by women now, right? There's attraction. So here's the part that like blows guys' minds away, especially if you come from like a very structured upbringing. So maybe you grew up in like Germany or India or something like that. You have very structured home life. And they'll tell you something to the effect of, you need to get a good girl. No, you need to get women in general. And this is the part that's going to blow you away. The same techniques to get the fucking porn star hooker are the same techniques to get the girl with the 2 body count who you're going to marry and have kids with. Let me say it one more time, because some of you don't believe me, but I can prove to you what I'm saying is true. The exact same techniques to get the fucking huge slut who absolutely has no standards whatsoever and will bang everyone is the exact same technique, the exact same attraction triggers that you use for the woman who is like the surgical nurse who's fucking, who's looking to get married, has an incredible body and wants to have kids and is super loyal. The good girl and the bad girl are attracted to the same attraction triggers because they belong to the same species, which is called Homo sapien, that has been around for 200,000 years. So this idea that you need to do good guy attraction or bad guy attraction, it's not real. If you guys, let me put a 1 in the chat. There we go. Good. Nate can confirm. Put a 1 in the chat, Nate, or any of you other guys. If you or you know a guy who's kind of a scoundrel and has been with a lot of women and has dated frequently women with very low body counts who are good girls. Put a 1 in the chat if you know guys like that. The male stripper who's dating the girl who's like like been with like 1 or 2 guys. Put a 1. Keep putting 1s in the chat. Okay. If the guy who's a scoundrel, maybe he's super good looking, charismatic, or even he has dark triad traits, if he's able to get the girl who's like has a 1 or 2 body count, who's a good girl, if the bad guy can get the good girl, then there is no good girl attraction. It's good girl and bad girl attraction. It's all the same attraction. Get that out of your fucking head. That you need to act a certain, Michael, I don't want to post pictures of me with girls on my Instagram because it's going to give women the wrong impression. That you fuck? Is that the impression it's going to give? That you're good in bed? Is that the impression that women like you? What a fucking terrible impression, bro. Okay? That's the issue I'm trying to tell you. So you need to get out of your mind this concept of good guy attraction or bad guy attraction. You don't need to be attractive to good girls or bad girls. You need to be attractive to all girls. Do you understand?
That makes sense, man. Yeah.
You're fucking 19, Joseph. You don't need to worry about this. You need to worry about generating attraction. So here's what I would do if I was you at 19. The hindsight of me at 19, I didn't understand this concept, but let me help you. I worked on women way too much and money not very much. In fact, when I joined the military, I was like, I'm just going to make what I make. I don't really care. The military is like, I can't get a bonus for like shooting down more planes. I was a tanker now. Like I wasn't going to get any bonuses, right? I could deploy more. That was the only way I could make more money. So my money was kind of stagnant. I was like at a 2. Like I didn't know anything extra about money. I wasn't smart about money. I wasn't smart or dumb. I was just getting paid a salary by the US government. And then, but my intelligence about girls just grew and grew and grew. So where my understanding of women was like a 7.5, my money was a 2. What should I do in that case? Now, what did I do? I ended up getting my intelligence about women up to a 10 and my money stayed at a 2, right? Until I got into the finance community around 2013. Then my money caught up, okay? In your situation, you want to ask yourself you don't want to be either one of these tropes. You don't want to be the fat guy who's into e-commerce, who makes fucking $240,000 a month and is just crushing it, but still eats poorly and has to pay women to hang out with him. So what is that? That's money is up to like an 8 or a 9, but women is like at a 2 or a 1. But you also don't want to be the guy who's like super fit in the gym all the time and he goes out to clubs 7 or 8 nights a week and he's dating 7 or 8 girls at once, but he's sleeping on people's couches because he's always broke and he's going from one NFT to like a one FT scam to the next fucking binary option scam. Then he's got another MLM scam. All this dude is going from one scam to another because he doesn't want to do any work. This guy has women up to like an 8 or a 9 and money at like a 1 or a 2. You want to be even. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. I have one more question. I know your time is valuable, man. Do you think I've been focusing on money since I was 13. I work with Ty Lopez right now. I scaled sales by the time I was 18 to a couple $100,000 and I was making a lot of money. And I'm 19 now. I'm really just focusing on business and trying to make something last for the long term. Do you think it's bad at a point where I'm just not networking and everything like that, and the fact that I'm just working on business and like the technical stuff?
I don't understand your question, but I will tell you that you have put yourself in a very advantageous situation. The fact that you understand the concepts of money and business and you started at 13, you have such a massive advantage over the fucking losers that are in your generation. I'm sorry, I hate to be insulting. I don't mean to be insulting, but the people in your generation, they don't get into fistfights. They don't fucking talk shit out. They talk shit about each other on social media. They fucking don't know how to approach women. They don't go to the gym. They're just like, and the fact that you're actually taking action to learn this, you're going to crush it. The only thing I'm going to tell you is if you get really good with money and not really good with women, you become a target. You become a target. And once a woman sees you as a target for money, she can't unsee it and then all of a sudden see you as a target for sex. Does that make sense?
That does.
Okay. So it's really important that you at least understand male-female nature and intersexual dynamics but you don't need to go out and date 50 women. It's not important that you do that. I think you're young enough to now, this is not really a big issue for you. I absolutely, under no circumstance should you get married before 25. Under no circumstance should you get married before 25. More likely, you should get married around 29 or 30 to a girl who's 25. That's more likely. Okay.
All right, thank you, Michael.
All right. DJ Rez, what's your question, brother?
Hey, Michael. Thanks for this meeting. So my question first is, there's a few things, but one, I just got a residency gig as a DJ at, a nearby venue.
In Toronto?
It's not Toronto, unfortunately. It's the suburbs, Oakville. That's where I live.
Okay.
It's basically like if you're just imagine like the suburbs of a major city, right?
Yeah.
So it's not going to be like a huge, packed venue, but I just wanted to ask you, how do I leverage that in terms of not only my dating life, but, as somebody who's DJing, any tips? I mean, it's not, like I said, it's not one of those clubs where like the DJ is, really high value, so to speak, kind of, you know what I mean? Like it's just a normal type of lounge.
Yeah, I wouldn't care at all. So I would absolutely go in there and fake it, like just try to make as many. I've seen guys do everything from like they'll take a shot from behind and they'll have everybody like, everybody make some noise. Everybody come up to the front. You get on the mic. Everybody come up to the front. So it looks like there's a crowd right there in front of you. And there's a photo over your shoulder where there's just a crowd of people in front of you. Or a shot from the bottom where there's just like a bunch of girls and then it's like looking up towards you. I would just make it look like you were playing for a room full of like 70,000 hot girls.
Okay. So just leverage the social media aspects
100%.
of
Yes.
all that. Okay.
That's exactly right.
And then I'm not a good debater, but I just wanted to kind of debate you on the cold, just comparing pickup to cold calling, comparing cold approaching to cold calling.
Yeah.
So somebody who's new to sales, like an entry-level sales role.
Yeah.
Like in my experience, because I've been in sales too, outside of DJing, and in my experience, whenever I start a new sales job or earlier on in my sales career, it's the emotional muscles that you got to build when you're cold calling, right? Like
totally understand. Yeah.
So when it comes to cold approaching women, doesn't that teach you a lot of those aspects?
Cold approach is fine. It's pickup I have a problem with. See, DJ, this is another issue that we keep having is that people don't understand the difference between that. They think to get a girl to go home with them, they have to show intent. And when I say, don't try to get the girl, don't show intent. They're like, oh, Michael says, don't try to hook up with them. That's not what I said. You can still hook up with them. Just don't show them intent. Michael, I don't understand. I have to show them intent in order to hook up with them. No, you don't. You've been taught incorrectly. That is not true. And in fact, if you listen to me interview the hottest girls, they all say they're the ones who chose the guy they went home with. You don't. Okay, so now the question you had was, what was it again? You were asking, about cold approach. Yeah, yes, so the thing is, whenever people say cold approach, they've got to the point where now they think it's pickup. No, it isn't. If I go up to a fucking person at a real estate conference, I'm like, hey, man, let me give you my card. That's cold approach. That's also cold approach. Okay, now let me give you another example. Do you know who doesn't spend a lot of time on sales training? Ryan Pineda. He spends some, but his team is more into sales than he is. His team's focus is on sales. Do you know whenever Ryan Pineda gets on a call with, or when they do an in real life program, Ryan Pineda will go up to somebody and then they'll close immediately. Well, wait a second, bro. Why is it Ryan Pineda's able to close immediately? Why is it Ryan Pineda's able to walk up to someone who's a fan of his and the guy will buy his product immediately? Why is that? Anybody? Because Ryan Pineda has social proof.
I swear I was going to say that. Yeah, that's
social circle trumps cold approach. Being famous and selling things is easier than cold calling them. Any salesperson will explain it to you. I'm not telling you cold approach is bad. I'm telling you that pickup is very inefficient and cold approach is efficient, but it's not as inefficient, and that cold approach and pickup are two different things. And that social circle using social status and pre-selection are 100x more effective. Okay?
Okay.
Make sense?
For sure. 100%. Just one last thing, Iran and Israel, what's going to happen in your opinion? Is there going to
Great
be
question. So here's the situation. For those of you who don't know, October 7th, the Hamas does an attack. Now, it's not Palestine attacking Israel. It's Hamas attacking Israel. It's really hard for us to understand in the United States because our political parties don't have military arms. But in Palestine, Hamas is a political party, but they really run unopposed, and they also have a military arm. Not like military in that they actually they buy weapons, and they actually do military operations. October 7th, some horrible things happened. We all seen it. I'm not going to comment on it. Just, it was atrocious. Anybody who stands by what Hamas did on October 7th, you're just a fucking terrible person. Now, the Palestinian people, even though a great many of them support Hamas, the reality of the situation is, in order for the Palestinian people to get along with the Israelis at some point, which, by the way, was about to happen, Egypt was even about to sign another trade agreement with Israel, which is why I think this attack happened in the first place. Things were getting too nice between these Middle Eastern countries. When that happened, Israel then responded with a huge military operation. Israel has a modernized Western military, meaning what I like. There's Soviet bloc and U.S. bloc. Israel has a U.S. bloc military, meaning T-70, meaning M1 Abrams tanks and F-16s and F-15s, like top of the line gear. They actually create the Uzi submachine was created by Israelis. So they have a top of the line military when it comes to technology and when it comes to hardware. And so in this case, when they go back and invade back into Palestine, the Palestinians, they have certain areas that are designated as civilians, and some of the people who are Hamas agents went into those areas to try to hide. And the Israelis were like, no, we're coming after you. And things, depending on who you believe, got out of hand where the Israelis, their response was too much. They went after too many people, and they were killing civilians, although I don't know exactly how completely true that is. I have no doubt civilians have died in this incident. I highly doubt that Israel was specifically targeting civilians because they were civilians for no other reason than they just hate Palestinians. I don't agree with that. Now, what happens in response to that is that the ISRG, the Republican Guard of the Iranian military, they want to help support the Palestinians. They also want there to be chaos in this situation. They don't want to see peace in the Middle East. And so what they do is they have an embassy in Damascus. They send an agent to Damascus in that embassy, and he starts running guns and supplies across the Israeli border to try to help insurgents in this whole situation between Gaza and Israel. And Israel finds out about it and then runs a surgical strike and blows up the Iranian embassy in Damascus, killing 7 Iranian people, including the guy who is running these operations. Now, one thing you need to notice, you need to know is next to the Iranian embassy in Damascus is the Canadian embassy in Damascus. Obviously, had they accidentally killed Canadian citizens, that would be a huge faux pas, right? This was a surgical strike that happened. And so now the response for Iran is to send drones into Israel. And Iran, a lot of people don't know this, because Iran doesn't have a modernized military. One of the things they started to do was specialize in these combat drones. And they've been selling these drones to the Russians in their conflict with Ukraine. And the reason why these drones are so effective is not because they're more advanced. The U.S. has way more advanced drones than these Iranian drones. The reason why the Iranian drones are so deadly is because they're cheap. So what was happening in Ukraine is it was costing $40,000 of U.S. hardware to shoot down a $6,000 Iranian drone. Does that make sense? Because Iran mass produces these drones, the least investment that they could do to as a show of force over Israel is to send 400 drones over there to try to kill people. And I don't know what the death toll is now, or if there is a death toll. Israel is kind of shooting back, and there were agents of Iran on Twitter saying, after this is the end of it. We're not going to do anymore. Iran does not have the capability of invading Israel, just so we're clear. If anyone wants to debate that, I will go over platform by platform and explain to you why that's not realistic. Iran doesn't have the capability of an air raid or a land invasion of Israel. Iran, Syria, Lebanon, Egypt, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, all together could not invade Israel. Okay, I just want to make sure you guys understand that if you're not aware. Saudi Arabia could. I disagree. I take everything I just said. Saudi Arabia spends like 280 billion a year on defense. Saudi Arabia could. The rest of those countries could not. And so because of that, what's happened is people are like, well, we're going to go into World War II. You guys obviously know I like Andrew Tate. I respect Andrew. But Andrew's whole thing about World War III starting because of this, I think he's saying it because he knows it's going to get a lot of engagement. This is not going to be the beginning of World War III for one main reason. Israel is a nuclear power. They have ICBMs, and they're backed by the United States, which also has ICBMs. Iran does not have ICBMs, and the only countries that could possibly back them that do would be Russia or Pakistan. And I don't see either one of those countries, or India. I don't see any of those countries that have ICBMs backing Iran in this conflict to the point to where it starts a world war. Does that make sense? I know that was a long roundabout answer to kind of explain what's going on.
That was fantastic. Thank you for that explanation.
Yeah. I try to give a tempered answer, but some people are like, oh no, like Israel just attacked them for no reason. Israel has not attacked anyone for no reason. Israel's made some mistakes for sure, but they haven't attacked anyone for no reason. You guys got to stop. You know better. You just deep down, you fucking know better. So stop saying that shit. It's stupid. But Israel, has their response been more than measured? Has it not been measured, meaning it's too much of a response? Have they overreached and overreacted? There's a debate to be made there. There's a debate to be made that they definitely have. Okay? Cool.
Thank you, Michael.
Yep. All right, let's go to Marios Dimitrios. What's your question?
Hey, Michael, what's up, man? Actually, like, I wanted to really can you hear me?
Yep.
First and foremost, like, I wanted to thank you, like, for everything. I've been, like, following your content for the last 6 months, and I want to thank you, like, because, like, you helped me to get out of depression, man.
Wait, man, I appreciate that. That's great to hear.
And a lot of the stuff that you said about like this woo bullshit is true, because just by like taking action and like getting back to work, like construction and stuff, and moving, it did like really like help me to, you know, just get back to the thing. Now, the question that I have to ask, like, you know, it's kind of like very simple. I've been like watching, you know, your stuff, and you talk like about like a lot about the program, right? And I want to ask you because I discovered, you know, that my passion is like, you know, like filmmaking, like cameras, acting, and stuff like that. Got that like program help me to, in the long term or somehow maybe in the short term, like quit somehow like this job that I have and maybe start like making money as a somehow like a videographer, or like networking with people, maybe who can help me, or somehow maybe me work with them by showing them my talent, you know?
Okay, so what specifically, what's the question? Who are you trying to network with?
Well, in general, like I want to like learn skills so I can find a way to quit that job and like focus on like on my art so I can start making money from it, you know?
Yeah. So the rough part about it is, especially when you want to do something that's artistic like that, you do have to have another way of making money. So Rolo's writing books while he's in a band at the same time, stuff like that. Okay. And it's the easiest, I mean, the easiest way to do this, not the easiest, but like the most convenient way is if you're like a solopreneur, or if you're one of these people who like runs a business from home, and then you can spend your off time working on your art. So a great example of this would be like you're a streamer and you make, let's just say 30,000 a month from your streaming, you know, from sponsorships, et cetera, or whatever. And then you can, because you're at home, then you can go over to your studio and work on your painting or your DJing or your fucking guitar playing or whatever it is, whatever artwork it is like that. If you have a 9 to 5, it's that commute, that lunch break, the commute, and then keeping you at work late that really takes up your time. You guys don't understand. In the beginning, you're trading your time for money. You're working at McDonald's, right? You're trading for time for money, right? Later on, you're trading your money to get back time, meaning you're paying people in order to give you back your time. That's the place where I'm at right now. Anytime there's something like, as far as doing mass invites or doing time stamping or editing my videos, I pay someone to do that because I used to do that, and I'm buying back my time. So eventually, Mario, what you do is you get some other career that pays you enough to where you can start outsourcing some of these processes in your life, and to the point where I mean, you see a lot of these guys with their video editing software, they're using these AI video editing software, and they're like not even editing videos anymore. It's crazy the way it's working now. So what I would recommend for you, Mario, is you need to find an occupation that gives you the flexibility so that you can work on your art. Okay. With the art itself, what kind of art is it again? Mario, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Basically, like my main goal is because, I watched your content, for example, and that gave me inspiration. And I want to make like a short film to help people like overcome depression, like an addiction. And I want to put it on YouTube. And because
Mario,
it might be, yeah.
Let me give you a piece of advice. So keep your day job. And then I want you to start making TikTok videos talking about how you overcame depression with a budget of 0. I need you to do this in the beginning. It's called proof of concept. So I need you to go on IG story. I need you to go on Reels, and I need you to go on TikTok, and I need you to start producing this content 1 or 2 minutes at a time at a cost of 0 using your phone. Okay. And then slowly improve the production over time. And when you do so and you get a following for that, then with the following, you leverage that into producing a movie. Does that make sense?
Okay. I got you.
Okay.
And
you want to see a great example? If you want to see a great example, look up Ali Harding. Ali Harding is a TikToker who talks about, she started off her TikTok by saying she wanted to commit suicide. And then since that point, she's grown as a TikToker and talks about getting over her depression. Okay. But she isn't using a short film. And this is her full-time occupation now. Okay.
And the other thing, like really quick, I want to add, does your program like help with making friends and finding like successful people and stuff like that?
Of course, that's all I teach. What are you talking about? Does it help? That's literally the core. That's all I of course.
Okay, I got it. Thanks,
that is
man.
The strangest question I've ever gotten in my life. I think that is crazy.
No, actually, like, sorry, because I only thought like it was like focused on dating. That's why like I kind of got.
Okay, ready? Here's a little secret. Some of you guys are gonna. So those of you in MOA, you already know this. Men of Action, we use women in our marketing. Women end up being about 15% of the course. Yeah. Now the Q&As, we mostly talk about women, but there's so many other parts. We talk about leadership. When we talk about the entrepreneurship, your mindset. Confirm your speaking language. What is this? English? That's weird. So your mindset, all those type of things, you're going to learn that in Men of Action. Those are the things that we're going to teach you in the program. It's mainly not about girls. And in doing so, in not focusing on women and instead focusing on building your physique, your business, and your social circle, you get all the girls. Got it?
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Love it. Mark Munier, what's going on, man? Let's get it started. Mark, whose girlfriend is cheating on their boyfriend with you, Mark?
No one. I'm actually up for a promotion at my job.
Mark, did you mute yourself? Something's wrong with your audio, Mark. Mark, do you have some kind of Bluetooth thing on there?
No.
Okay, you're good now. I can hear you now.
I'm actually up for a promotion at my job now, possibly. Finally. And the thing is, the boss, the GM of the store says it's not totally up to him, that everything is handled through recruiters. So there's actually nobody to really talk to about it.
Okay.
So I was wondering what should I do about that?
Well, then you just have to be better. So the answer is always abundance, right? We talk about rule number 3 in Men of Action. For those of you who are new to the program or you're not familiar, there's six guidelines. We call them rules, but they're not really rules. There's 6 guidelines in MOA. Rule number 1 is we only pay attention to the words. We do not pay attention to people's actions, only care about what their actions are. Okay. Rule number 2 is all human behavior can be explained through the lens of evolutionary psychology. Rule number 3 is abundance is almost always the answer. Unless you have a heroin addiction, abundance is the answer. Rule number 4 is social media is fake, and I'm okay with that. We are social media producers. We are not social media consumers. Rule number 5 is we don't talk shit about people behind their back. If someone is doing better than us, we need to shut the fuck up and learn from them. And rule number 6 is no one needs to know who you're fucking or how much money you make. You don't have to qualify yourself to people. Okay, those are the 6 rules in MOA. But rule number 3 is abundance is always the answer. And in this case, an abundance of job options and an abundance of skill sets that you can propose at your work, that's how you become better. Like, for instance, we didn't ask Ty Buchanan right now, he works for us. We didn't ask Ty to become a moderator on YouTube and a moderator on here, but he's doing it. because Ty understands his usefulness to this company. We're going to want him to do more stuff. As you take more responsibility, you gain more skill sets, and you volunteer for more things, then more people will call on you because you become more and more skilled. Does that make sense, Mark?
Yeah.
That's how advancements happens. Advancement happens where, so here's what happened. Your boss, for the most part, he's probably telling the truth. But if your boss went to them and says, hey, listen, I can't go on without Mark. Like, I can't function without Mark. I have to have Mark. Mark is the only person who can do this, this, and this. Then they're gonna, if it's good leadership, they're gonna take the manager's under advisement and say, okay, we need to promote this guy. Does that make sense?
Yeah, not really leadership. I've made improvements recently and talking to customers more. I'm the main person that gets most of the stocking done, etc. And I've made various improvements in how I've approached the job.
So what I would ask myself is not, because you want to get promoted. If you want to keep your job, then you just need to keep doing good work. But if you want to get promoted, you need to ask yourself, not what do I do well, but what do I do that's irreplaceable? Not
It's
what
a
do I do
liquor
well, it's
store,
what do I
so
do
there's
that's
probably the
irreplaceable.
answer isn't probably anything at all right now.
Okay, well then that's what you need to work on. What can you do? What can you figure out that makes you irreplaceable? I might even look up like some blogs and say, hey man, I'm trying to get promoted and I work at this store. What are some skill sets that you can come up with? Okay.
Okay, thanks.
All right, beautiful. Anybody else have any questions? So guys, one more time, I need you to go down to the bottom where it says reaction, and then you're going to click raise hand. I do have, let me see, do I have any super chats? I think I have one. One super chat here from Siege Deep. Ty Buchanan needs to be made a mod. He's wrench worthy. Ty, you are now a moderator on my YouTube. Congratulations, Lieutenant Buchanan. All right, awesome. Let me see here. For those of you guys who are watching on YouTube, if you guys want to join us here, let me go to copy invite link. If you guys want to just straight up join us right now on Zoom, click that link right now that I just put in the chat, and you guys can join us right now. Make sure you're already logged into your Zoom and you can watch us on Zoom and ask questions. Holy shit. Okay. I just hit 90,000 subscribers. Cool. I didn't see that. Nice. I didn't know I just checked right now. I have 90,000. I did not know I had 90,000 subscribers. That's pretty cool. 100,000 subscribers. I'm going to get the little plaque, and I'm going to put it on a little table here behind me when I get the plaque. Awesome. I just noticed that. I had no idea. Thank you guys. Let's go back to Only Phil. Only Phil, what's your question? And hold on, Only Phil, let's do this real quick. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Can you hear me?
Sure can.
No, I want to say thanks for that, because the law of attraction thingy. Thanks for that, because I've been getting told a lot that you have to manifest, you have to do all that, but hard work beats. You're teaching me that hard work beats everything. I needed to hear that, because people even sell courses on that stuff, law of attraction, and you saved me.
The idea that someone sells a fucking course on law of attraction. Do you want to talk about the Federal Trade Commission? They need to step in and stop this shit. That is crazy. If you wanted to give a course on like motivation, no problem. Visualization, no problem whatsoever. Becoming a better networker, no problem. When you're talking about the law of attraction, you're literally selling a course on a thing that isn't real. That's crazy. Selling a book on it is fine, because I can sell books on fiction. I read fiction all the time. I'm reading John Grisham right now. Fiction is fine. You can read whatever you want as far as fiction. It's that when you're pretending that this isn't fiction and then you're selling a course on it, that is madness. That is madness, dude.
So I'm from Palm Beach, West Palm Beach, Florida. There's this guy. He'll be like, he'll say it that he screws ladies, he fucks every night. I see him with hot girls. He's a break dancer, and he told me it's a law of attraction. But the secret, he said, the secret is not what you think; it's deeper. So he took me to his house, and he's gonna put me through some hypnotism. He said, once you get hypnotized, you'll be one with the universe, and things are gonna start happening. I didn't do it, but that's why.
Does he ever hypnotize girls by giving them blow? Is that how he hypnotizes them? Just curious.
I don't know
is he just a really good looking guy who hypnotizes girls by giving them mushrooms? Is that how it works? The law of attraction attracted the Molly that he uses with women. Is that what's going on?
No, no, but you helped me out big time, because a lot of people.
He and I, if he's legit, he and I probably would agree on a lot of things. He's just using bad words. The problem with the law of attraction is that it's not a law, it's a metaphor. It's a metaphor. If you have positive associations in your brain to certain things, are you more likely to be successful? Science tells us yes, you are more likely to be successful. But it's not some woo-woo quantum field that fucking makes things pop in and out of existence. It's just a function of successful people or around other successful people share successful ideas and make you more believe that you can be more successful. So you're more successful. That's a real thing. That's a real thing. Okay. That's why, that's why you become a law associate, before you become a partner at a firm. That's why you become a resident in medicine before you become a full-fledged practicing physician. Because what are you supposed? You're watching people succeed in the way you want to succeed, and you can visualize you having that success, which then causes you to have that success. That's it.
Okay, and before I want to enter my multi-million-dollar dream, that's in the future. Is Amazon FBA something good to join? Is for my first business?
Yeah, so you need to be very detail oriented and be willing to work a lot. Like if you're going to do Amazon FBA, my first thing to you is, are you willing to set aside 80 hours a week in the beginning?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. If you're not, you're going to get flattened. If you want to do Amazon FBA because you think you're going to do less work, don't do it. Okay?
What's a good recommendation of a business to get started into?
I get this question every week. Isn't it crazy, guys? I get this question every single time we come on here. The answer is this: as soon as I tell you, it's already too late. As soon as I tell you that you could have made a lot of money selling solar, it's already too late. As soon as I can tell you, hey, you know what you do? Get into real estate. Every fucking stripper and bartender I know has gotten into real estate. It's already too late. As soon as I tell you, you should buy Bitcoin, it's already too late. As soon as anything I tell you, as soon as I'm the one who tells you, that means everyone knows. So the market's already saturated. So it's already too late. So Phil, you need to take the time every single spare moment you have while you're in the gym, while you're eating, or while you're driving, listening to audiobooks, YouTube videos, and podcasts that help you get closer to your goal and educate you. And you need to listen to them at double speed.
Got it.
You need to say, well, the best way for me to explain it is, you see some supply chain, some vertical integration supply chain, and you see a chink in the armor where there's some inefficiency, then you create a business to fill that inefficiency, then you become wealthy. Got it?
Got it.
The thing about Amazon FBA is that there was a chink in the armor. Amazon was so big that there were certain suppliers that weren't sophisticated enough in order to figure out how to sell their products correctly. And so Amazon FBA came out there to sort of like bridge the gap. The problem is eventually Amazon's going to catch up and figure out a way to do it on their own, maybe using AI, and they're going to run all those FBA guys out of business. I'm going to tell you right now, like this FBA market is going to be like greatly saddled in the next 5 years. Let's go to Is Zavala. What's your question? Hold on, let's try this again. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hey, Michael, what's up?
What's going on?
What I'm wondering is, with this social circle game that we call it, do you ever worry, or how do you handle anybody that's trying to get in your circle and they're just looking for clout? Or how do you decipher from the good and the bad people? Because like as it stands, the people that I fuck with are people that are loyal, people that are just good people to be around. I don't necessarily look to get something out of them, or I'm sure they're getting something out of me, but I don't necessarily look to get something out of them. And I just like to be with genuine people like that. Now, I think this method kind of could bring the wrong crowds. Have you dealt with that?
No, because so I do things for other people and ask for nothing in return. And my whole social life is based around philanthropy, charity. I'm hosting a charity on Saturday for orphaned children. So the people that I surround myself with, the issue that you're having is like, they might not be good people. No, they do have big tits though. They do have blonde hair and they're really fucking pretty, but it doesn't make them bad people.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, let's just say
totally.
there's 10,000 there's 10,000 Playboy quality girls to choose from. I'm going to take the 2,000 of those 10,000 that want to help me with animal rescue. Does that make sense?
Yeah, total sense.
Yeah. The other thing is, especially if you don't have, and I don't know if you do or not, if you don't have this whole part of your life completely settled, and by this part of your life, I mean, you can easily attract, you go into a room and there's 50 girls and you can go up to the hottest girl in that room and know that you can attract her. If you don't have that skill set, then you should be working on that skill set rather than worrying about whether or not she's a good person or a bad person. One thing Pickup did get right is back in like 05, 07, 08, when I was doing this, they didn't give a shit about body count or what her political party was. Nobody cared. You knew how to generate attraction or you did not. And I really do think some of you guys need to focus on that in the beginning.
Yeah, I definitely think I do. I mean, all the girls that I've met have basically been cold approach, pick up PUA mystery style type of thing. But
it's so funny
I
because
mean,
when you say pickup, mystery's the first guy you come up with, but pickup
well,
today
just
is not taught the way mystery did. Mystery was
no, it's
indirect game. Mystery was indirect game. He was the first person to teach me about social circle. Mystery was like using a photo routine. Mystery was like introducing girls to other girls as pivots. Mystery was like literally teaching a lot of the stuff that I teach now. Mystery was doing, pickup artists today would like be like, that's not pickup. It doesn't look like pickup, but that is actually what pickup used to be, like 05 to like 09. That was a beautiful thing because you didn't have to compete with Instagram and OnlyFans back then. Now it just didn't catch up. It didn't keep up with the changes in the world.
yeah, it's definitely harder. I mean, before I just used to think all this shit like social circle and Instagram was kind of cringy. Like I didn't really want to be a part of it and just like weird. But I think you made a point earlier where it's like we know that shit is fake. We're just producing it to get an end result, and I
Social
think that
media is
makes
fake, and I'm
sense.
okay with that. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess that kind of settled my question with all that. But I guess at what point is fake and like at what point do you stop? Or I don't know. I don't know if that's like a route you've thought about traveling before, or what do you think about all that?
Say it again.
Like at what point do you think it's like too fake, or at what point do you think it's going to get old, or at what point do you think
Well,
like
you
this
tell
is
me.
stupid?
You want to read this out loud for me here real quick? What do you see on the screen? Hold on. Oh, where's it at? Oh, damn. Is this? No, this is the wrong one. What does it say? Say right here.
Research shows women go for men who have female friends. Yeah,
Wait,
yeah, I would agree.
what? It's research?
I would agree with that.
Oh, shit, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, no, bro. Wait, the effect known as what? Mate choice copying? You mean Michael Sartain didn't just make all this shit up? Oh, my God. What the fuck, bro? What is this? Wait, is
So
that
also,
Sarah Hill of Texas Christian University found that women find men more desirable when they appear to be desired by other women? There's fucking science on this. When is this going to get cringy? It will never get cringy because it's based in evolutionary psychology.
so also though with the girlfriends, right? Like I have girlfriends, but somehow or another we end up smashing, and then it changes the dynamic of the relationship,
Yeah,
right?
that's your fault. So
Yeah.
so I have, when I've done that before, when I've slept with a female friend, you will never be able to tell the next day. Next time I see him, hey, what's going on, homie? Fist bump. Oh, is this your boyfriend? Good to meet you, brother.
So you just keep it like nothing happened, basically.
Bro, keep it like it was a dude.
But what if they start, getting some type of fizz? Because that's
Wait,
usually what it
hold
is.
on. What happens when women start bragging to other women about how good your dick is? What happens then? Is that what you're asking me?
Well, typically they'll get
Does that sound like a problem to you, bro?
No, no. Typically they'll get protective. Like say you go out together, now they'll be watching you a little bit more.
Let me tell you something. Every time a girl acts protective around about a man and other women see it, their vaginas get wet.
Okay. All right.
It's guys, we have to stop. Again, I don't mean to just specifically chastise women here because men are guilty of this too, but we have to stop listening specifically to what women tell us they want. Women are going to say, I don't like a guy who's a player, and I don't like a guy who goes out all the time and has six-pack abs and other girls find him attractive and he's all over social media. I don't want a guy like that. Then we stop, take a deep breath, and then we look through her tagged photos and see all the guys she's dated previously and see that's exactly who she goes out with. And the reason why she's complaining is not because she doesn't find those men attractive. It's that she's complaining because she's attracted to men who have too many options, and that frustrates her. Guys, remember one more time.
Okay.
When women do things this is the difference between comfort and attraction. Attraction is anything between the man and the woman where the man is gaining power and the woman is losing power. So you get down to 8% body fat. You start making $700,000 a year. You end up with 200,000 followers on social media. Your business blows up. You get asked to speak at a TEDx conference. Anything where you as a man level, you have more famous, wealthier friends, and women start looking at you. These are attraction triggers. And in every one of those things I just mentioned, the woman is losing leverage and the man is gaining leverage in the relationship. Okay. When a man buys a woman flowers, becomes extremely emotional and starts expressing himself more, his vulnerabilities to her. When he tells her he loves her every day, every morning, it's like a good morning, my love, text message. When he does those things, she's gaining leverage. Things where the woman is gaining leverage, those build comfort, and things where the man is gaining leverage, those things are attraction. You got it? If you start with attraction and go to comfort, there's another study in that book, Atomic Attraction, where it talks about 4 different scenarios. You start off liking the guy, then you still like him. You start off hating the guy, you still hate him. You start off hating the guy, and then you start liking him. You start off liking the guy, and then you start hating him. Which one was the most attractive? And the answer, which is obvious, is the one where she starts off hating him and then discovers she likes him. That's the one where women found that to be the most attractive type of man. That is attraction first. Oh, fuck, I can't stand him. He thinks he's so fucking hot with his fucking 6-pack abs, and these girls all want his dick. Fuck that guy. Women will talk like that. What is that? What are they expressing? Attraction. And then later on, she meets him, and he's like, yeah, well, this is...
You're ready, please.
Chris, what are you doing, man? Chris, why are you... Okay. He's all of a sudden, he's like, when he's on the date with him, he's asking her about herself. He's like, yeah, I like to work with philanthropy. Tell me more about your thing. Are you close with your family? He's very fucking sweet. He does a couple of these comfort building things because he already has attraction. If you have attraction and you do things to build comfort, you are going to have to take a fucking spatula to get this woman off you. If you start with attraction and then you build comfort, you are not going to be able to get her off you. If you start with comfort and build attraction, she thinks you're a homosexual dude who just pulls his dick out in the middle of a fucking movie or something, which I know a guy who's done that before. He had pretended to be gay with these girls, and then he tries to like hook up with them in the fucking movie theater. Okay? And the girls are like, what the fuck is this? So when you start with comfort first and then go to attraction, you're the weird dude coming out of the friend zone. When you start with attraction first and then go to comfort, you're like, well, Michael, you tell us to be friends with girls. I didn't tell you to not be attractive to girls. I have never said that. I said don't hit on them. You can still, it's really fun. Isn't it crazy? Some of you have been in MOA, you understand. It's like just this whole fucking mind fuck. I'm just taking your whole mentality and I'm just shifting it to where like a way you didn't think about it. I never said don't attract them. I said don't hit on them. When I have my female friends, I am constantly showing attractive qualities. I'll wear a tight shirt. Girls will look at my biceps, and then my girlfriend will see them looking at my biceps and like get kind of frustrated with it. Okay. I'm still attractive, even though I put the girls in the friend zone. And in fact, one of the most attractive qualities I have is that I will go up to a beautiful woman and put her in the friend zone. Another attractive quality, you know what it is? Hey, it's nice to meet you. And the girl's like, oh, it's nice to meet you too. In her mind, she's like, it's another fucking loser who's going to try to hit on me and get with me. But instead of me asking for a number, I look to my right and say, here's my girlfriend. Want to introduce you to my girlfriend. And she's hotter than the girl I'm talking to. And the girl's like, wait, what? Huh? I thought he was going to hit on me. His girlfriend's hotter than me. Did I screw something up? Wait, is this guy hot? What am I doing? Okay. You guys have got to understand these concepts. Do you know how, like, since I've been in my most recent relationship, do you know how many girls that my exes just message me out of the blue? Hey, hope you're doing well. Yeah, I bet you do. I'll bet you hope I'm doing well. You guys have to understand, there's another study that shows that women are more attracted to men who are in relationships. What the fuck? But you're too worried about posting a picture with girls because all of a sudden the people at your church and your fat aunt aren't going to like it when you go home for fucking Thanksgiving. And they're going to tell you, what are you doing? Why are you posting up pictures? You've changed. You're different. Bro, I only give a fuck about results, and I don't worship at the altar of worthless people and their worthless fucking opinions of me.
So when you actually have your girl, you're just like, I have my homegirls and you're just going to have to deal with it. If you don't like it, you don't have to be in my world. Or how do you manage that? Because I know a lot of girls I talk to, they're like, no.
So new rule in MOA, We're not going to discuss my current relationship or Kylie anymore because
Or
it's just like
somebody.
it's got it. So from this point forward, I haven't
Yeah.
said this before, but from this point forward, we're going to talk about it theoretically, just because,
Yeah.
dude, things I've slipped up and said things that her family doesn't like, and I'm not going to do that anymore. So we're going to keep this very private.
Yeah.
Theoretically, yes.
For
Theoretically,
me.
she should understand that you do have some female friends, because she needs to. There needs to be some apprehension and anxiety about losing you. It needs to be there. And you also, as a man, you're going to feel more confident and produce more testosterone when you're around more women that you know find you attractive, even though I don't recommend you cheat. I don't recommend cheating. Cheating's bad. But
And
I do recommend
allow
you
them?
be attractive. Huh?
Do you allow them to have like guy friends, and like how do you manage that?
So here's the weird part.
Yeah.
It depends. The guy friends that she has are guys that are sort of like in MOA. I don't mind that. Or guys that are in the business. I don't really mind that at all. It's not that big of a deal. I will tell you this though, in general. Well, let's not talk about my relationship, but in general, I tell guys to be friends with females for the exact same reason I tell guys to not let their girlfriends have a bunch of female guy friends. And it's not because, so if you have a girlfriend and she has a bunch of guy friends, it's not that the guys are going to hit on her. Let's just say she has a bunch of guy friends and they don't hit on her. None of them do. That's actually worse. You're like, what are you talking about? When guys hit on girls, girls actually know the power dynamic. It's very easy for them to understand. The guy's giving me all the power. He's hitting on me. She knows exactly what she's doing. She's totally fine. She's in control. It's not that big of a threat. It's if you have a female friend and she's around a bunch of dudes who are very, very competent and none of them hit on her, she's going to start to become attracted to them. Here's the even worse. If those guys are good with women and they don't hit on her, and your girlfriend is constantly watching. I'm not telling you about this from my personal relationship. I'm telling you this because I have guy friends and they don't know how to handle their girlfriends. And then we all hang out, like the three of us, or maybe I'll have a girl with us. And what's happening is, here's the guy and here's the girl, and she's consistently watching Michael, and Michael is fun and having fun and with beautiful women and always doing exciting and fun things. And she's never fighting with Michael because Michael's not in a relationship with her. Then she looks at her over at her boyfriend and he's like, not as fun. He's not as cool. She starts to resent him. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
This is why I've said this before,
I think it
guys.
does.
You can never, if your homeboy is dating a girl and then like she comes and hits on you, you can never take advantage of that, because it's not fair. It really isn't fair. If you're a dude and you're having trouble with a girl and there's a guy that you guys hang out with, he's always going to seem better because there's only positive and there's no negative. It's really fucking dangerous. I know, guys, like you guys are thinking, oh, I have game. Like I was hanging out with, like Charlie is hanging out with Bob and his girlfriend. When Charlie gets attraction cues from Bob's girlfriend, but he doesn't realize he's only getting those attraction cues because she's fighting with Bob. That's the only reason. And so he goes for it and he ruins his friendship. And then everyone else knows he's a bitch. He's snaking his friend's girlfriend. That's why you guys, you can't do that. You don't want that reputation.
Yeah, that's why I value loyalty. But
Yeah.
no, I hear you. Awesome
Like
stuff.
your guy friends actually have a little bit of an advantage of stealing your girl. Like I know it sounds crazy. They do. Especially if you're having some kind of a fight. I'm not saying that they will. I'm saying that they have a little bit of an advantage. If you guys are fighting all the time and she resents you, and then all of a sudden the other guy is just fun and funny all the time, and every time he's with a different girl and he's making the girl laugh and he's doing it in front of your girlfriend, her hind brain, her fucking ape brain is like, that looks so much more fun to be with him than to be with this guy. And women don't give a fuck about homie hopping. Women do not give a fuck about male loyalty. Let me say that again. Women do not give a fuck about male loyalty. Let me say that a third time. Women do not give a fuck about men being loyal to one another. They will absolutely fuck a dude and then fuck his brother. They absolutely will. Do not get that confused.
Yeah, I mean, it also seems to be the case, like even if it's not a girlfriend, but say if I pull a couple girls and I bring a friend or I invite my friend over like later, that's the new shiny object. They're automatically drawn to that. If it's done the other way around, I arrive later, I'm the new shiny object. So it's some weird mind shit that they're playing. I don't know.
Yeah, it is. And so what you do is you take out your credit card. Let's all do it together. You take out your credit card and you charge it to the game, bro. You charge it to the game. You say, hey, you know what? These hoes, they for everybody. You pass them out around. They're at every party.
Yeah.
They ain't going to be loyal. Not for anybody. But I still love these hoes. Okay? It's really like, right. I love those words. It's discernment without judgment.
Yep.
Oh, she wants to. Oh, she's trying to get up with this dude because he's got 100,000 followers. She's trying to get with this dude because she's rich. She's trying to use me to get into a nightclub. Cool. For recreational use only. We can be friends. We might even hook up on the DL, but I still know she's not going to be loyal, not for anybody, but I still love these hoes. She can come on Access Vegas. She can come out with me on a trip. I would just would never wife her. Okay. Somebody
Preach.
wrote
Yeah.
earlier today. This is a really interesting thing. Let me see if I can pull it up. So I posted I didn't post a picture. You guys know my social media is not controlled by me anymore. So this picture our guys just posted. Where's it at? And they're posting a bunch of pictures. This one right here. And the thing I said is, ladies, if you don't know who these women are, just ask your man because he subscribes to all of them. And he goes, Michael, if you're reading this and take offense, I'm sorry, but there's no way to say this. This isn't this a tad hypocritical to tell men to avoid these kind of women, but then you promote them and imply that every man in a relationship has a wandering eye by telling women that the relationship's in jeopardy? Am I the only one who sees this irony? No. What she can't see is that when I say don't date them, that means I'm warning you against them. I would not date anyone in that photo. I would. Okay. Now, Jessie Preston is a good girlfriend to her boyfriend, and Ambry McKee probably is too. I don't know. But my point is, I wouldn't date anyone in that photo. The point of the photo was not people to date, but I still love them. I love well, me and Jen Rufo don't really get along, but the other three girls in that photo, I genuinely do love. I would go to their weddings, and they would probably come to my funeral. So I can still have discernment without judgment. And that's what the girl didn't understand. If I say, hey, guys, it's probably not a good idea to subscribe to OnlyFans because it's going to screw up your ability to go and attract women, that doesn't mean that I don't have female friends that are on OnlyFans. Because I'm not here to give you a moral prescription. The thing I'm going to tell you is, like, don't be the guy who, like, pays a woman for her attention on OnlyFans. Be the guy who that same girl on OnlyFans, like, drives to your house to give you attention. Does that make sense? But
Totally.
at the same time, I probably wouldn't date them. I probably wouldn't date them.
Yeah, you got to categorize, I guess.
So, by the way, if you guys want to categorize, this is the way you do it. Austin Dunham came on a couple weeks ago, and he started talking about, that guys will actually pay him to message their girlfriends to see if their girlfriends will cheat. They're doing like an honesty test. And what he found is the girls who are more likely to cheat, he said 80% of the girls would. He said the 20% of girls who would cheat, it was like if he was a better looking version of her boyfriend, then the girls would like be considerate of cheating. But he said the correlation was this: the girls who were posting thirst traps and were clearly interested in getting more validation on social media, those were the girls more likely to cheat. And so from this point forward, what I want you guys to do, and I've meant all the guys in MOA already know this, but what I want you guys to do is to stop rating women by their physical attractiveness and instead rate women by their susceptibility to stimulus. Let me say that again. Stop rating women by their physical attractiveness and instead rate women by their susceptibility to stimulus. If you have the surgical nurse who lives in Waco, Texas, she's going to school to be a surgical nurse. She's going to make $200,000 a year. She has a really good practice. She's on her feet. She's in really good shape because she has to work a ton. And she just wants a husband to have babies with and to be loyal to. And that girl's a 10. She's going to be easier to date than the girl who's a 6 who lives in West Hollywood and gets offers to get flown out to Dubai every week by some Saudi Arabian dude, or gets offers like for $5,000 to come and have sex with her, whatever. Even if she doesn't go to Dubai and even if she doesn't have sex for money, the fact that she's getting that much stimulus actually makes the 6 in Los Angeles harder to deal with than the 10 who lives in Waco. Does that make sense?
Totally.
From now on, when you guys look at women, do not look at their physical attractiveness. Because I've heard this before. It's like, oh, those really hot girls are the hardest girls to date. No, the hardest girls to date are the ones that are the most susceptible to stimulus. Okay? So you need to rate girls by their susceptibility to stimulus. That's what I would do. Okay?
Cool.
She posts thirst traps and gets likes from like, what's it called? Michael B. Jordan. I saw this one guy who's like talking. He's like trying to talk to this one girl, and then he's like looking at Michael B. Jordan is like liking the post. And he's like, holy fucking shit. It's like, this is who I'm competing with. Just understand that girl is going to be a fun weekend in fucking Cabo. That will never, MOA will not allow you to date that girl. Okay? Cool. You can date her. You're not going to wife her. You're not going to wife her. Okay? If you have a
Cool.
girlfriend, is that a good girl to bring as like a throuple to on vacation? For sure, bring her, 100%. Not going to wife her though. Okay.
Well, that part too, like eventually getting to that position that you have, finding a girl that's actually down for that, is I think the hard part, because somebody always catches feelings, especially the girls always get jealous and something
Yeah.
happens and they're
Yeah.
not down. So it's like finding a way to finesse that, I guess, just comes with the social circle.
The truth is finesse is correct. So in astrodynamics, there's a two-body orbiting issue, like the Earth and the Moon orbit each other, but you can't get three bodies to orbit each other. It's called the three-body problem, just like the TV show and the books. There is no mathematical calculation to have three bodies orbit each other. There's no stable orbit for three. The same situation kind of happens is like these throuple situations, there's one stable molecule that will stay together, and that is this. If the women are 51% attracted to each other and 49% attracted to the man, that's the only way it'll work. That's the only way I've seen it work, meaning their attraction for each other slightly outweighs their attraction for the man. Then that allows the stability and outweighs the jealousy. That's the only formation that I see work long-term. Make sense?
Okay. Yep.
Yep. That's the only configuration I've seen work. The other configuration is it is a man and a woman together, and then they're consistently replacing the unicorn guest female who comes into the situation.
Yeah, that'll work.
That's another one that I've seen work frequently. It doesn't work with guys. I'm sorry. I know this comes off as sexist. I apologize. But the concept of a heterosexual couple having different men come in and rotate through, that I've never seen that work. Unless there's one huge caveat, unless the man is bisexual. That's the only caveat I've seen to work for that. Cool. Beautiful.
Cool. Thanks.
Love it. Dawson, what's your question?
Oh, yes. What do I do when I'm finally at the table of girls after a long session of night gaming? And I'm at the table, I'm talking to people on the social circle, and I'm out of energy. Like it's late, I can barely conversate or express myself. What do you see people do, like when they don't have much energy, but they still want to put themselves out there?
Okay. So in a loud nightclub situation, that's what you're talking about, Dawson?
Yeah.
You're a connector, suggester, and content creator. It's in pillar 1 of the Men of Action program. We go over how to be a connector. So I'm introducing girls to other girls. I'm always doing this. I'm introducing high status people to each other. I'm a suggester. Hey guys, afterwards, dude, I'm telling you, the fucking blueberry muffins at Peppermill are so fucking good, bro. I would eat that shit off a pig's ass. I'm seeding a suggestion so for another place for us to go later, okay? And then number 3, the content creator. Make videos with the girls in the group and then just be like, oh my God, I thought this was my book club. What happened? And there's like Cascade is like standing right behind you, okay? Then so you're creating content. That's what you do to overcome the loud stimulus of the nightclub. Connector, suggester, content creator, okay?
Okay.
Got it? Also,
so I was doing the suggestion and the content creation, but I didn't do the connecting. So I think I should focus on that one more next time.
For sure. Definitely.
Thank you.
Yep, for sure. Eric, what's your question?
Hi, Mike. Can you hear me?
Sure.
Give me a sec, put my video on too. Before you mentioned pickup, meaning like older style pickup, like 2005 to 2009 mystery style. And then newer pickup. What's the newer pickup to be avoided?
The newer pickup is I need to blow me or blow me out. Let me be hyper direct so I don't waste my time. The problem with that is, look, by the way, it works. Like, I'm not telling you that Lucario doesn't go out there and bang chicks. I know he does. The problem is Lucario, when you do that, I don't want to speak about Lucario specifically, but when you use that mode 1 style of communication, you don't allow yourself the ability to manufacture attraction. Anybody here who's worked in sales, you know, if you go for the close in the first 5 minutes of the call, you're going to get some closes, but it's a low percentage. During that time between the beginning of the call and the end of the call, in that mid part, you're sitting there, you're hitting pain points. You're sitting there trying to get to his primary driver emotions to convince, so that he convinces himself that he wants to buy your program or your product. You're doing the same thing with women. You're manufacturing attraction. When you go mode 1 and you're direct, you don't allow yourself to manufacture attraction. But if you're 6'3" and Australian with tattoo sleeves and a 6-pack, you don't have to. You're just good looking and you just go up to every girl direct. I'm not saying going direct doesn't work. I'm saying going direct works when you're in that top 4.5% of men that are like super physically attractive, or
Okay.
you have the Murcielago pull up, or the fucking Phantom at the fucking valet, then maybe you could get away with it. But going direct on average is not the right way to go.
Okay.
And also, there's a couple of other problems. One, you can get Me Too. Number two, when you send direct messages to people and they're direct, there's girls screenshot it and then they fucking put you on blast. Please see what happened to Fresh. Just be careful. Same thing with Andrew Tate. When you message girls, imagine everything you message a girl will be put on blast. I keep telling you guys to not snitch on yourself. I'm one of the first originators of this. Stop snitching on yourself. And I keep being proven right over and over and over and over and over again. Text messages with Jonah Hill, text messages with Andrew Huberman, text messages with fucking Fresh, text messages with fucking whomever. These texts are getting you guys, they're putting your dick in the dirt. Whisper mode, seek Facebook secret, disappearing messages, invisible ink. Let's start using these things. Or just get the girl on FaceTime audio where she can't record you. You can't do tape a call on FaceTime audio. Okay?
Yep.
Let's stop snitching on ourselves. That's what you got to do. So, anyway, going back to what you're saying before, the direct approach was incorrect. Their inability to understand that men and women should be friends and using women in order to get you better access and make you more calibrated and introduce you to other women. They were very, very slow when it came to social media, right? And then they're very, very slow when it came to logistics.
Okay.
Those are the main things Pickup got wrong. They believe that in order to attract, you must initiate. In order to attract, you must show intent. One more time. Let me say this one more time. This is the ultimate mind fuck for any of you guys who are into Pickup. In Pickup, they believe a woman fucks you because of your intent. No woman fucks you because of your intent. She knew your intent when she woke up. She knew you wanted to fuck her before she even knew who you were. Women do not fuck you for your intent. They fuck you because of your status. Got it?
Oh, I
And
got
you
it. I understand. Yeah.
while you generate more status, you are I use this as like a bunt in baseball. You are manufacturing attraction. Got it?
Just one thing to finish up. When you mentioned earlier about walking into a room where there's 50 hot women, you mentioned something about going up straight to the hottest one. Going up straight to the hottest one, isn't that showing intent? Like, how do I avoid it?
Again, one more time. This is a big problem. When pickup artists say, I went up to her and I was confident, they can't separate confidence, just like they can't separate pickup from cold approach. They can't separate confidence from intent. You can be confident. I want you to think about this, bro. Eric, you and I are in a room with a block of uranium. We're sitting like 3 feet away from a block of uranium. Which one of us is getting irradiated?
Both of us.
Both of us. Because the radiation emits in all directions at once. Is it focused in one direction?
No.
No. That's how you are, except it is masculine, attractive qualities that you're irradiating in all directions. I can still show confidence, maintain eye contact, and let her know like what kind of a person I am, but I don't have to tell her how pretty she is.
I follow you.
And quickly, next girl, just talking to every girl in the group.
Okay.
That's the difference. I irradiate masculine qualities, then let her see pre-selection, and so that she can choose. Here's a main difference, guys. When you go on dating apps and a girl right swipes on you, she's seen enough physically, generally, to be attracted to you. So dating apps, if a girl meets up with you on a date, she already kind of likes you. Pre-selection, that's why I don't use pre-selection on dating apps, because the girl already likes you. Pre-selection is for women who don't like you. Let me say that again. Pre-selection is for women who don't like you. If you want to understand the whole like relationship or intersexual dynamic component of Men of Action, I'm going to explain it to you like this. Pickup is for you to have sex with girls who do like you. MOA is for you to have sex with girls who don't like you. But you make them like you because you manufacture attraction. Do you guys understand?
Yep.
Got it.
Thank you, Mike.
Oh, hey, man, $100 super chat. Shout out to Scott here. Hey, Michael, I'm working hard on fitness from awful mess to a fit person. First off, shout out to that. How far along until I engage with women? If you have to wait until 10% body fat, it will be a couple of years. Thank you for all your great content. Appreciate your economy of language and appeal to logic very much. So Scott, so the thing is, there's at no point would I not go up and talk to women just because you're above that body fat percentage. But I don't care if you're at 60% body fat, you should be able to get 10 to 10%. It shouldn't take a couple of years. If it takes a little bit more than 1 year, then you can do that. You just need to create a deficit. We have Mark Fissel in 6 months lost 60 pounds, and he's on the call. So I know you can lose it in less than a year, Scott. I would not wait a full year for that. That's the only thing I would tell you. And if you want some ideas, we can help you with that. I would recommend intermittent fasting, and then also getting a meal plan where you count your macros. Have a healthy diet, a healthy weight loss thing. So I think it's 3,500 calories per pound of fat. I believe that's the way it works. And I would just basically say, okay, I want to lose 1 pound of fat per week. So it's like, say, 52 pounds in a year. Then I need to create a 3,500 calorie deficit per week. That's the way I would look at it. MyFitnessPal is a way to do that for sure. Yeah, it should not take several years to get down to 10% body fat. Let's keep going. Okay, cool. Got a super chat from Nelson Martin. What's going on? Cool. Let's keep going. Radislav? Rositslav.
Yes. Hey, Michael.
Okay. What's going on?
I've got a quick question. So I'm 20 years old, and I've started living on my own, like at 17, 3 years ago. Got my first work and just got started living like a adult life. And I was like so fired up at the beginning, had so much motivation, but then it just started fading away like consistently for all these like few years. And my question is like, how do you maintain like motivation yourself, or how do you like keep the discipline up?
So for me, the main thing with the discipline is the recognition. So there's 3 things that I do whenever we have a mindset question. So the mindset question is going to be, hey, Michael, I feel bored with my job, or Michael, I can't focus on the present moment, or Michael, I want to change my career because I just hate this or that or whatever. Here's the 3 things you guys need to write down when it comes to mindset. Ready? The first thing you need to understand when it comes to mindset is gratitude. You live in a great time. Guys, the very fact that you are capable of getting on Zoom makes you part of the 1% most fortunate humans that have ever walked on this planet. That means you have access to the internet. That's incredible, the level of knowledge that you have access to. So it's gratitude. You live in a time after antibiotics and manned flight, okay? You live after a time of fiber optics and high-speed internet. You should be grateful for that. Second thing is present moment awareness, understanding that the only way for me to be happy is complete and total acceptance and surrender to the present moment, not to try to predict the future or interpret the past, because suffering is only in the future and the past. It is never in the present moment. Full and total complete acceptance to this moment the way that it is. And number 3, the recognition that you're going to die. And every one of us on this call is going to be in the same place in 100 years. We're all going to be exactly the same percentage of dead in 100 years. Got it?
Yes.
Try those 3 things and then tell me if that doesn't help you with your focus. Okay?
Sure. Thank you.
Beautiful. Dennison, looks like you're the last question. Dennison, what's going on? And unmute yourself.
Hey, what's up, Mike?
Hey.
So a couple questions about how you got into being a host. Now, was this like mere exposure? Was it where you were intending to be a host of these high quality events? Like how'd that transpire from like from not being a host to being like one of the top hosts?
So I'll tell you right now what happened was it was 20. So the first hosting thing I had really was when I was a DJ at a strip club from 2000 to 2004. Because I was there, I was on the microphone for 8 hours a day, 4 days a week. And I just got really good at being on the microphone for a long time. During that time period, there was a couple of points where I was going to San Antonio and in Austin, and I was like the MC for a couple of nightclubs. One was called Purgatory in Dallas. And I would just do this occasionally every once in a while. Then really didn't do a lot of hosting when I was in the military until I got out. And then when I came to Las Vegas in August of 2011, it was like July of 2012, hosted a bikini fashion show at Lily Bar in the Bellagio. And for there, it just took off. It was that event, then another one. Then we started doing interviews during our events. And then afterwards, it was the Maxim party, and then it was bikini competition at Wet Republic with Crystal Hafner, and then from that it was Babes in Toyland, then it was Paradise Challenge, and then for that it was Model Citizen Fund, and just one thing led to another, led to another. I never got paid for any of them. The bikini competitions I did, but none of the other ones. I got paid for none of them. I just offered. It's basically what Dominique is doing right now in San Diego. I just offered to do as many red carpets as I could for free, film them, and then give the girl back her interview, or give it to Maximo TV for them to post it, or give it to Babes in Toyland for them to post it. And I would just do these interviews on the red carpet, which would give the event a little bit more class and sophistication. I just started doing that for years and years. And then eventually that is what turned into the Michael Sartain podcast, the concept of just doing all these interviews. That makes sense? Oh, sorry. Go ahead and mute yourself.
Media. So that was more like you were a content creator and consistent.
Find some viral videos.
I really wasn't a content creator. I was just I was in Vegas, and anytime there was an event, I just offered my services to recruit. So here's the trick. Because I was the recruiter, a lot of times guys will do this. They'll be like, I'll sell tables at your club, but you have to make me the DJ. I have to be the resident DJ that night. So you sell tables, and then you use that as leverage point to get a DJ spot. I was using the fact that I could get a bunch of girls to show up to a club to make me as leverage to make me the MC.
Okay. So you're like, okay, that was the play, because I got the impression you were bringing cameras for the interview.
I was.
Okay.
I was bringing cameras for the interview. Yeah, I did all of it. So I promote on social media. I host the red carpet, and I invite all the girls.
Yeah.
Got it.
Massive value. Yeah. So, and my other question is, talk to me about proof of concept. So earlier you talked about proof of concept being like something you want before you enter a business. What is it like when you know the concept is proven, but you're transitioning into the business, and how'd that work with MOA in context of MOA?
Well, so MOA is a really weird experiment, because I had 19 years of experience before I started MOA. And I was coaching since 2008. So 12 years of coaching. So like proof of concept, I was so far beyond proof of concept when we started this program. There was nothing I wasn't sure. If you guys watched the original MOA like modules, there was nothing I wasn't sure about. The only thing I've had to go back and change is I've had to remove certain people, and I've had to change things when it comes to social media, because some of those things have been updated, but the concepts are exactly the same. And the reason why is because they worked so incredibly well for me. I was able to punch above my weight socially with my networking and with my dating life, because I understood these concepts. And so then I'm passing them down to you. So Dennison, I don't know. That's a tough one. For me, proof of concept was like, so when I started in finance, I opened a paper trade account with TD Ameritrade, and I started trading stock options for like a couple of months, and I just made a fucking killing. I made 43% in like 3 months. I was like, okay, this is proof of concept. So I started doing it. And from 2013 to 2019, my full-time job was being a stock option trader. That like, and for us, proof of concept, another example would be, for those of you who are considering joining Men of Action, but you're skeptical, just go watch. There's over 100 testimonials that we have to show you. Along with, I've updated, we have 50, like my 50 favorite Instagrams that you guys can copy and look and say, okay, these guys are actually having success from their Instagram. One other thing, I know this doesn't seem to be a bunch of guys asking this question, but I get this all the time. So we'll show pictures, and it'll be pictures of me or some of the clients, and they'll be with like a bunch of beautiful women. And the question that I get all the time is, yeah, Michael, but you could have just taken those pictures. Who knows if you're actually sleeping with those girls? And these questions usually originate from a guy who has a pickup course and is very threatened by my course because of what my course might do to his course. So my question to you is, your favorite pickup coach, if you put him in this photo, would he get laid? If the answer is yes, then why aren't you in this photo? Because I teach you how to get into it. And if the answer is no, then why the fuck are you following this guy?
Well, my favorite pickup coach is Michael Sartain, who's not a pickup coach. So I have no idea. Exactly. No, right on. My last question. What is Vegas like for like the average performer or person who's in industry like that? Like
what kind of performing are we talking about?
Well, I'm a musician, but I was thinking in general, like what's their what do people do? Are they're like day job and then performing?
No. If you're a performer here, it's probably full time. But what you would do is like something like you'd be part of the house band for some comedy show or something like that. or like there's probably musicians that are involved with like say absinthe, something to that event, or you're a musician involved with like some magic act, or a musician involved with like say Cirque du Soleil. That's how it would do. As far as
Sounds
musicians are concerned,
Yeah.
that's generally the way it is, unless you're a huge musician and you're just selling out T-Mobile or Allegiant Stadium.
Right. All right, sounds good. All right, cool.
Beautiful.
I'll have questions, but that's
All right, guys. Well, I'll give you guys one last chance. One more time. If you go to the bottom and you hit reaction and then you hit raise your hand, I'll take a few more questions and then I got to run. Tonight is a fun night. Oh, we got another super chat. Hold on, let me get here to the super chat. This is Nelson Martin VIP. Hey, brother, I'll be at the Bunny Ball. Do my birthday bestie Teresa. Question: my crush will be there. I'd love your help with her. So the answer, if your crush is there, then you need to have Teresa be the one who's like introducing you to her, because that's a great way for like introducing girls to the girl you like. I have found it has been the absolute greatest leverage point you'll ever do. Because guys, remember, most women aren't interested in most men. And in order for a woman to become interested, you have to do something that creates a pattern interrupt. Because her pattern is every dude's a weirdo. He's going to send me a dick pic. He's obsessed with me. He just wants sex. He's a loser. Like that message is just going off in her hindbrain all the time. Blah, 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 blah. You need a pattern interrupt. Stop. Pattern interrupt. Here's a hot girl. Here's a funny joke. Here's a nice physique. Here's a Lamborghini. Pattern interrupt. Bang. Stop. Stop the blah, 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 blah. He's a fucking loser. You have to interrupt the pattern. One great way to do that is to go up to a girl that you're talking to and have another girl with green eyes and big fake tits come up to her and be like, oh, yeah, this is my friend so-and-so. Make sense? That's the answer. All right. A couple more questions here. Mike, what's your question?
Yo. Can you hear me?
Sure can.
All right. Quick question on just building a physique. I've been having a lot of trouble like really growing my arms.
Yeah.
Just curious, like any tips for that? For some reason, like I just don't have big arms.
Yeah, Michael, how old are you?
24.
So I had a similar issue when I was 24. It was really difficult for me to keep muscle on. As one of these things, as I got older, like it was funny. It was like my gut could get bigger, but my arms wouldn't get any bigger. So it's a function of like when your metabolism slows down. So when you have a high metabolism, I don't know if you guys know this, your body burns muscle before it burns fat, which is why those bodybuilders, what they're doing is they're eating protein and then they're tearing the muscle and rebuilding the muscle and so their body, since it can't burn off the muscle, it's burning off fat. That's the way it works. If you don't eat enough, then your body isn't going to be able to do that. So one of the problems is you eat a bunch to get bigger arms, but you also get a big gut. The real way around it, and we're not going to do this, but is when you take anabolic steroids, what happens is it ramps up photosynthesis in the recovery process, and it uses the fat that's already in your body in order to, as energy calories, whenever you lift weights or whatever, and the protein in order to build muscle. And so in order to do, but I'm not recommending you guys take steroids. I'm just telling you that's how that works. The answer is, number one, be patient. You're 24. By the time you're 30, you're not going to have any trouble, or you're going to have less trouble. And the second thing I'll tell you is I would start really focusing on your nutrition. Get a nutritionist, figure out what your calories should be, your macros, and then maybe meal prep.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, and then
but you're too young for me to recommend TRT or Anavar or anything like that. I wouldn't recommend that.
Yeah, and then I just had a follow-up. Is there like a you know how we're talking about like you don't want to have that bodybuilder look? Is there like measurements for the perfect physique? Like
yeah,
I was just like
1.65 to 1. So it's just shoulder waist ratio is 1.65 to 1. My waist is way too big.
Okay.
I just have big wide hips. It's big old rib cage. So I'm never going to have that shoulder to waist ratio. But that's what women find the most attractive. 1.65.
Okay, cool.
Sound good?
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you.
Dawson, what's your question?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Should I be a wingman to someone before I am a gamer so I can get experience as a wingman?
I would say do both, and there's nothing wrong with being a wingman and then also being a gamer the same night.
Okay. And then, like, if someone
Dawson, your questions, you're making this too technical. You just need to go out on a regular basis.
Okay. Go out more often.
Yep.
Got it. Thank you.
Ricky Dennis, what's your question?
Hey, Michael.
Hey, what's going on?
How's it going? I had a question about James Sexton's book. I read that, How to Stay in Love, and he has a pretty different take on girls' trips and them having their own life outside the relationship.
Yeah.
He's of the stance that allows them to not live in the soul relationship, have them an identity of their own.
Yeah.
It's pretty different than Fresh and Fit and Rolo's,
Yeah.
even Justin Walsh.
Yeah.
So I was curious about your thoughts on that.
Yeah. So I wouldn't mind a girls trip. What I would mind is a girls trip to Cabo during spring break, or a girls trip to see Thunder from Down Under in Las Vegas, or a girls trip where we're just going to go to a bunch of nightclubs in Miami. A girls trip, if you guys want to go and it's like a family reunion, or it's a girls trip where you guys are all going up to the Hamptons or something like that, I don't have a problem with that. It's just like, what is the intent of the girls trip? And this is another thing, guys. It's just real. So you guys know, if you have a group of couples and one of the couples gets divorced, the likelihood of the other couples getting divorced actually increases dramatically. And if you have a homegirl and her friends are all hoes, guess what? You're likely your girlfriend is going to become a hoe too. It doesn't mean she's likely to become a hoe. It means she's more likely to become a hoe. And so one of the issues that you need to worry about is it's not her going out. Women come to Vegas all the time with no intention of cheating. But what happens is they're on stage at Excess and they get hypnotized. The music, they listen to Rufus the Soul and just listen to it. It's like, hey, you want some Molly? And so they take some Molly and like, oh yeah, I'm feeling this shit. And they have a boyfriend at home and they love their boyfriend. But it's like, this is the only time they're ever doing this. They love Rufus the Soul. They listen to it in the shower. Just listen to it. And then it's just like they're like hypnotized. You come up and talk to them and you're like, hey, what's going on? And they're just like, and they're just they're stuck there. And then it's just like, oh, and then at the end of the night, the guys at XS are like, hey, you want to go upstairs? Well, we're going to go to the hotel room. It doesn't have to be XS. It could be Omnia. It could be wherever. It could be, any nightclub. And so the girl's like, oh, yeah, I'll go up with you. And so they'll be like, oh, we're all going. So a big group of girls goes up to the suite and they're all sitting there dancing. They're playing some more music and there's food and there's some alcohol and she's just kind of feeling the Molly. But she's a good girl. She has no intention of cheating on her boyfriend. None. And then it's just like, there's just so much energy and the vibe is so good. And then then one of the guys, one celebrity or famous somebody comes up to her and she's like, oh, and she's just hypnotized and she doesn't know what's going on. And then she fucks him and she doesn't like the next day she wakes up and doesn't even remember. It's like, what did I do? Oh my, I've seen several times where girls come to the city, have no intention of sleeping with someone, but because of their susceptibility to stimulus, guys, remember we talked about that? Susceptibility to stimulus, because they were so susceptible to stimulus in that they were so open to it. Just like some people are open to being hypnotized and some people are not. Because of their openness to that stimulus, it allowed them to put themselves in a compromising position. Okay? If that is something that is happening frequently because there's a girl in the girls group who likes to take Molly and fuck random dudes, that is the trip I wouldn't want my girlfriend going. Make sense?
Yeah. Sure.
That's the way I would look at it. Yep. Alan, what's your question? One more time, Alan, what's your question? All right, skipping Alan. Radoslav, what's your question?
Yes, I got one more question. So what I wanted to ask, what are your thoughts on AI? Because Andrew Tate said that, like, if you don't get rich like before 2030, that there are going to be like several big institutions of like highly developed AI that are going to prevent you from becoming rich, and it's just going to be like super difficult to do.
I don't super disagree with this, actually. I do think what'll happen is a lot of the mechanisms for wealth are going to become commoditized through AI. I do see, or automated through artificial intelligence. I could definitely see that, but there will still be mechanisms for wealth creation based on like what problem you solve or the level of risk you're willing to take. It's an interesting conundrum. I could definitely see there being an issue. Getting rich as fast as you can is not the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I definitely don't disagree with Andrew when it comes to that. But as far as artificial intelligence, so he also believes in this, like I believe that there's a group of people that are in power. I definitely agree with that. What I don't necessarily agree with is that they're all in collusion with one another. Like, I don't believe they're all colluding and they're all like, baby eaters who drink the blood of children. It's like, I don't believe that. I don't believe in that level of collusion. I just believe there's some people, he's conservative. These people are liberal. They don't like him. They're pretty open about it, and they do things to make his life hard. I believe that, but I don't believe it's like this worldwide cabal of collusion. I don't necessarily believe in that. So the idea that they're going to use artificial intelligence to keep people from getting rich, I don't necessarily know that's the case. I think the world is better. For me as a business person, the world is better when more competent people have more access to wealth because they have more leverage with which to build business. I look at other wealthy people and I don't see them as fucking competition. I see them as other ways to leverage wealth. So that's just me. That's just the way I look at it. I can see certain industries or mechanisms for creating wealth being automated to the point where you can't do it, but I still think there'll be other mechanisms. I don't think it's quite as draconian as the way he's describing it.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
Good. Color Me Everything Art. What's your question?
Hello.
Hey, what's going on?
I'm wondering, what is it going to take to get you to bring this program of yours down to Miami for our swim week event?
Well, unfortunately, I have to. I'm going for Babes in Toyland, and I can't go back there twice in like 2 weeks.
Because we certainly align with a lot of the things that what you're saying, and we certainly would love to bring this, to our guests.
Yeah, no, it sounds great, but unfortunately, like I have to go there. I'm going to be in Miami for a full week. I can't come home for 3 days and then come right back. So that's the only reason why I couldn't. But no, I do appreciate it. And maybe next year I can figure out some way to do the week after Babes in Toyland, because Babes in Toyland is on the same week every year. The problem is I have to fly back that Sunday night because of Electric Daisy Carnival.
Understood.
Answer your question?
Yeah, hopefully we can do some work together in the future.
For sure, man. Appreciate it. Talk to you soon. Alan, what's your question? Alan going twice. Alan, so here's the thing. You're going to look down. There we go. There's a mute button. What's your question, Alan?
Hey, Michael. I'm having trouble deciding to stay in the military. Will you recommend staying in or getting out? And how do you host events while in the military?
So the thing is, I was an officer and I wasn't hosting events. What I was doing was I would go to Atlanta on the weekends and I was like almost like a sub promoter, meaning the promoter would have girls they want on a list and I would just bring more girls and walk in with the promoter. That's what I did while I was in Atlanta.
Okay.
I don't know what your work week is like. Alan, what's your MOS?
I'm a medic, so.
I mean, if you have the free time to do it, I just wouldn't worry about hosting events. I would just help other people with their events. As far as staying in, I wanted 7 years and that was all I needed. I didn't need any more than 7 years. I was good when I got out. It's a decision you have to make. If you want to do 20, do 20. But for me, I knew the first couple of weeks I was in the military, I was like, I'm doing one fucking round and then I'm getting out.
Okay. All right. Appreciate it.
Yep. For sure. Only Phil, what's your question?
Do it again. Do you have, when it comes to women, do you have to be good looking to get laid and get girls? Does that help more being a good looking guy?
Of course it helps, but it's not the only thing that matters. There's like for women, the physical attractiveness part is such a major component. We're talking for some guys, it's anywhere from 85 to 99% of the interaction is physical attractiveness. But for men, physical attractiveness might be 40% of the interaction. Well, to some women, it may be more than 40%, but on average, let's say it's 35, 40% of the interaction or the attraction. The rest of it is going to come from, does he show dominance? Can he maintain eye contact? Does he have a deeper voice? Does he have, proper grooming? Does he dress well? Does the outfit that he's dressing in, does it complement his physique or does it make him look silly? Like those are different things. Does he look relevant? Does he look relevant on social media? Does he have social alignments? Those are all things that he would need to look at.
Have you ever seen unattractive men get a beautiful woman?
Yes. In fact, that is the majority of men of action. My clients, I'm just gonna tell you, a lot of my clients are fucking ugly and they date super hot girls. Yes.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
So ties into kind of confidence.
No, you misunderstood what I said. I said all those things. So it's confidence, voice, physique, hygiene, clothes, humor, networking, pre-selection, like all of the different stuff. And then looks are one of them, one of the attributes. Got it?
Got it. I needed to hear that because I go out, I get hot girls' numbers as friends. I get friend zoned a lot. I'm good with talking to people, but have to get out of the friend zone.
Yep. Sounds right. All right, Phil.
Gotcha.
Nelson, what's going on?
Can you hear me, Mike?
Sure can.
First off, I wanted to throw you that super chat to show you some love, my man. You're doing great work. I watch a lot of your podcasts, a lot of the reels and whatnot, and I've known you for over a decade, so I'm appreciative of you and where you're at.
Appreciate that. Nelson, what happened? Nelson, you muted yourself.
Am I back? Am I back?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Cool. So as I told you on the super chat, I'm coming to Bunny Ball on Saturday. I'm officially celebrating my birthday. I got a VIP ticket through Nino. I'm bringing Teresa. You know her very well, Gemini Barbie. She's gorgeous. Best friend / pre-selection help. Choice copying helper. My crush, who I, by the way, did not sit to say in the super chat, I met over a year ago via another girl who you know very well. And she's exactly my type. She's gorgeous. She's what I want. And I've FaceTime with her. I have her number. I've not been per se trying to hit on her, but this party on Saturday could be a sort of proverbial make or break for if I could create attractiveness with her to where she would want me to take her on dates and go out. We do text occasionally. She lives in Newport Beach, California, which, as you know, is like one of the wealthier areas of SoCal. So I know I'm competing with multimillionaires and billionaires that are probably hitting her up all the time. She's a big plastic looking girl, and I'm not going to mention her name here. But
I know her.
You know her. You know all the women that are going to that party, brother. You know that. Well, her
hey, just message me privately, and I'll tell you whatever I know about her.
Her bestie, and this will give it away, is Skylar.
Her bestie is Skylar. Her bestie
She
is
says
Skylar.
the word no bestie, but she calls her bestie.
Does her first name start with a K?
Well, I'd say a C actually. I'll give one more hint because I don't want the room to know everything. But she's the queen of.
No, you have to send it to me.
Well, Nicole.
She's Asian. Yeah.
Yes, the Vietnamese girl. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. There's nothing I can tell you that's bad about. I know her very well. No,
she's an angel.
She's like she's not, to my knowledge, she's not like a hooker or anything. She's just a normal chick. She does have an OF. You know?
No, yeah, of course, and I support all of that for her. If anything, I build all that up on all those girls. I love all the girls doing the OF and the whole adult industry thing. You know, I've been in the adult industry myself for fucking 15 years off and on. So I'm basically trying to ask now, 6 or 7 days before me and Teresa drive down to the event. I've got hotels set up.
You need to you just need to introduce her to as many fucking girls as possible. That's what I would do.
Right.
If I ever short of something to say, I just bring as many hot girls to go talk to other hot girls. And next thing you know, there's this one table off in the corner. It's just nothing but hot girls talking to each other. And they're all looking around trying to figure out like the fucking hierarchy of what's going on. And attraction is being built.
Which is the main reason I'm excited to have Teresa with me, because she's my most loyal and best girlfriend, and she is stand above the rest of the room. She's so hot. You know her very well. And Nicole was a friend for like a decade. So she's kind of like, we're talking one up, but with Queen, I'm like, I kind of don't want to give her any vibes that I'm trying to hit on her, but I legit would love to date her, genuinely, like old school romantic type of shit, which is not really my lifestyle. But while you're there and I'm there,
Nelson, the other thing I'm going to tell you, Nelson, is you need to go there with the open mind of like meeting someone else also.
Oh, of course. Oh, no. If this is like a show to go off the pot kind of thing, I'm like, okay, who else is cute? Who's my type here? Who I can kind of have a vibe with?
Put absolutely no weight into this interaction. Whatever things can go good, but like if she pushes off at all, you're already talking to someone else. Just don't worry, and then come back later. Okay.
Fair deal. I will see you Saturday on the red carpet, brother.
All right, man. Brandon, last question. Brandon, what's your question?
Hi, I have a sales question.
Sure.
So, what is the makeup of doing the phone sales, trying to convince someone, and turning that into something that is more an instant buy? They make action now instead of get on the phone and trying to sell them.
It's a brand. It's being Alex Hormozy. That's the answer. It's a brand.
Solid point.
Yeah, but in every one of these cases, it's building a brand. Like again, if like somebody was trying to do like 100K paid in full for Tony Robbins, whatever the fuck. If I'm Tony Robbins, I'm going to get on the phone and be like, "Hey, what's going on, Bob? Bob, what the fuck? What are you doing, man? What are you waiting for? Let's get in here. Get in. We're going to start here next week." And he's like, "Oh my God, that's fucking Tony Robbins. That's what's going to, and then he's going to do 100K paid in full." That's how it works.
So personal brand is
a personal brand. You got it right, buddy. A personal brand.
Thank you.
Awesome. Hey guys, thank you so much, man. I really enjoyed these calls. Had a great time. Got to talk about a bunch of different things. I'm giving this to my team. We're going to clip out a bunch of stuff that we talked about today. One more time. See you guys on Thursday for halfway to Halloween. See you guys on Saturday for the Bunny Ball. Also, there's a retreat for the guys in MOA. We're all going to hang out on Friday. I'm pretty excited to do that. And then on Thursday, I think I'm doing some stuff with the clients in MOA. It's going to be fun. No Access Vegas this week. The week following, some of the girls want to come back and respond to the fresh and fit stuff. They want to come back on Access Vegas the 25th of April. So that's going to be interesting to see. And then, yeah, man, just got a bunch of fun stuff going on. Yeah, awesome. Glad that you guys took notes. A couple things before we go. First thing is, for those of you who are interested, you've learned about Men of Action and you just want to learn about it. You're not in the program yet. Go ahead and click that link that I just put in the chat right there. That lets us know that you came from the Monday call so that you can start up. And for those of you who are watching this on YouTube, there's the link right there. Make sure you click that link in the chat right there so that you can, sign up for a call and then just see if this is something for you. Like I said, there's hundreds of testimonials that you can go through when you go on there. The second thing I want to tell you guys before we go is if you guys want the schedule for more stuff that we're doing, including like the Bunny Ball and these different events that we're doing, along with the first 4 steps of Men of Action, along with the book list, along with a ton of other thousands of hours of resources, click that link right there for our free school server. All of you should belong to the free school server without exception. Trust me, guys, you are not going to regret getting on the free school server. So thank you, guys. Thank you for all of you that super chatted. Thank you for all of you that joined. This was a lot of fun. Got it done in 2.5 hours. I'm going to start streaming on Twitch here pretty soon, so I'm excited. Probably going to broadcast these on Twitch, and I will see you guys here. For those of you who join Men of Action, I'll see you guys.